everyone, hello, and welcome to Edge of Legends Season 2, Episode 3. That's going to get weird to start saying the seasons, but I'm excited to do as many seasons as we can announce. That being said, hello and welcome back. We are here to have the next episode, The Trial of the Soul of Asim-Ra. And if you noticed, the lovely Tobias is back. So we are going to have him start off introducing himself. Tobias, who are you? Who are you playing? And what are your pronouns?
Hi, I'm Tobias, and I have been chosen and cursed by playing Tobias, the Grand Hospitalier, and my pronouns are he, him, his.
Excellent. Next up, we have Mr. Michael Powell. Michael, who are you? What are you playing? And what are your pronouns?
Well, as always, I am the dastardly, dashing Michael Powell. And I'm playing the fabulous Rufa. And he's a human investigator. And our pronouns are he, him, they, them.
Excellent. Well, next up is Sidney. Sidney, tell us who you are, who you're playing, and what your pronouns are.
Hello. My name is Sidney Rubino. My pronouns are she, her, and I play Ilona, the half-elf cloistered cleric.
Very nice. Kylie, please tell us who you are, who you're playing, and what your pronouns are.
Hi, I'm Kylie, or I go by Kai. It really doesn't matter at this point. I play Shionibus, the Elven Ranger. We both go by she, her.
Very nice. And Sam, please tell us who you are, who you're playing, and what your pronouns are.
Hello, I'm Sam Sterling, and I play Ichipaktan Papakui, also known as La Pacifica Dorita, and our pronouns are she, her.
Excellent. My name is PJ Megaw. I'm the GM of Edge of Legend and Nat 20 Productions. My pronouns are he, him, and tonight I'll be playing everyone and everything else in between. And that being said, some quick announcements before we get into the recap. We just want to make sure that we remind everyone that this Saturday, in a few days, so Thursday, Friday, so in 3 days, we're going to be doing the Ian and PJ co-GM double up cluster fluff of the Merry Wives of Woodwort, a sort of unofficial origin story for how Woodwort entered the Green War. This Saturday, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m., those are the official hours. I got it wrong last week. 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. this Saturday on this station. And we're going to try and do it once again for charity to help Extra Life, which is a great organization, help kids. So come and see us. I'll be playing the Archdruid. Ian will be back playing Woodwort, and some familiar faces will pop up playing some of his many spouses. And of course, one last little announcement before we go. Next Monday, the 31st, a few days after, our brand new show is joining the lineup at Nat 20 Productions called Wayward Arcadium. What happens when a bunch of adventurers go to Adventurers College at the Arcanumerium in the Galarian setting of Absalom, and what kind of shenanigans happen when you got daddy issues and a dark conspiracy. I mean, isn't that just everyone's college experience? That was mine.
Is that the log line for the series?
Daddy
Kinda.
issues in studying? Probably.
Daddy.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh God. Yeah, no, that we've been talking about it. They're like, yeah, so this is about daddy issues and dark conspiracies. And I was like,
Listen,
bet.
Goblets and
Bet.
Games is great. They have some fantastic ideas. And I'm so
Absolutely.
excited for the show.
But without further ado, give you a quick recap of last week's episode. If you haven't already had a chance, YouTube Nat 20 Prods, Sam did a kick-ass job doing the recap. If you missed it, the heroes found Asim-Ra is currently fighting off a possession of Ravan himself, the Devil Lord, one of the co-rulers of the Ninth Hell. And he's been fighting him off, and they need to kind of, get rid of this greater possession that's about to happen to one of the champions of the son of the, the godson Ra. And they get a message from Anubis, who basically says to Shionibus, the time of my promise has come. You must take him to me in the sands, and I will pass judgment on him. And after some very fun and slightly awkward family drama at the dinner table, when everyone went back to Nubia and went to the Elven Citadel, a few people found out how many of their friends happen to be royalty. Turns out more than you think. Anyway, after following the acolytes of Anubis to a deep citadel underground, an acropolis, if you will, to the very throne room and seat of judgment of Anubis himself. Anubis weighs the heart of Asim-Ra, finds it to be 2 hearts in 1, and therefore we are now in the trial for Asim-Ra's immortal soul. Does he ascend to the sun god and become the champion of Ra fully once again? Or does he become the avatar, the devil lord who drains your will? We're going to find out in the next episodes, because the trial for Asim-Ra's soul begins now. After the slab is rolled over the exit and locked into place, and all is pitch darkness, Anubis sits on his throne with his executioner's weapon, a sort of double-volged axe made entirely out of gold. And he leaves you with those words: I suggest you find an attorney real fast. And when that happens, you seem to be moved through this darkness, as if the world around you is moving quite quickly, wind whistling past your ears and hair, and everything is going up until you find yourself in a weird antechamber. In this antechamber, it is still complete darkness, but just barely, if you have low light vision or dark vision, you can see touches of gold and brass and wood and sandstone. You can barely make out images, hieroglyphs, and reliefs depicting the embalming process that Anubis brought to the world. And you see kind of a large square wooden table with chairs. This is now your meeting chamber. Asim-Ra is not around. He has been put into detaining until they can do the trial. And a being enters the room, looking very much like Anubis, but you see, as they kind of stretch their back, what looks like hands of bone. You can even see joints flexing and curling, their hands biting the air, as this jackal with bone hands coming out of his back enters the room. This is a celestial of Anubis, one of his holy messengers, his archons. And as they enter the room, they say, I have been tasked with being an assistant. If you have any questions or in need of anything, please let me know. The god of judgment and death and embalming will be seeing you when you are ready for the court. Yes, the one with the finger up?
Yeah, you did say we could come to you with any questions, comments, concerns. Yes.
Yes.
Ah, good. Apparently we need to find an attorney.
Mm-hmm.
That's. Do you have a solution to that one? Just standing by anywhere.
Well, there's a lot of attorneys in the world. Do you have one in mind? We can pluck them from time and space.
I will absolutely drop a religion check. Actually, no. I would like to. Where is it? Where is it? I have it written down. Yeah. Is there any way, maybe just a little someone, Minerva would be able to just drop in?
Yeah. You see the celestial pause. And they go, are you referring to the
Oh yeah,
ascended, the greater
great,
Minerva?
great attorney in this case.
I don't think I can call upon another god. I can call upon their mortal form before they ascended. But I don't think you want that.
I don't think I want that either.
No.
I don't think that would go well.
No.
Worth a shot.
Of course, no problem. But if you'd like to, you can also represent him yourself collectively.
Oh, that sounds great.
How do we do that?
Well, you can give me your formal, basically your formal letter that you will be representing him yourself, or just say that you will. I'll go present that to Anubis, and then we'll come back with limited evidence, and you can start preparing your argument. I should warn you, there is a devil already in charge of the prosecution. Ravon chose them personally from their cadre of lesser devils.
Great.
Religion
make a
check
roll.
for me
Yeah.
to know what this is.
Sure.
No, I already do. Aha! All right. Oh, math. It's like I forget every week I have to get my calculator out.
Right? Good
Yep.
call. Put mine up right now.
That's a 25.
25. Now you
Yeah.
do remember he said very quickly a lesser devil, and you know from Ravan's cadre that a lot of the devil lords not only have dominion over the demons of their part of hell, but also some of the lesser devils, some of the lesser celestials that fell during the war of the Seven Glories that work with them. So there's a big chance here by the term lesser devil that there's probably some poor immortal fiendish soul that is doing this work right now for Ravan.
At this kind of Rufa is gonna, you know how when you kind of slowly spin around in a chair.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna say there's a chair you can actually spin around and just go. So this would be a benchtron instead of a jurytron instead. Then
Yes, essentially, we are going to open with first round. This is unofficially a hearing, but if it keeps going, Anubis does have right of refusal and continuance. So, yeah.
Rufa,
Uh,
you know legal vocabulary. Are you a lawyer?
well, I have known to dabble in a little bit of the lawyering, as well as bureaucracy and all that sort of thing.
How do you dabble in lawyering? Don't you have to go to like school?
Are you
Well,
barred
Rufa
here?
has had some legal training in the past. Which
You went
most
to
people
law
have
school?
legal training in the past, yes.
Oh,
He can do anything, can't he?
So, okay. Question: Are we? The task right now is for us to, and he's gonna kind of like.
Oh, you're trying to. Oh,
Yeah.
right. So sorry. Well, as you know, in the courtroom of Anubis, your merits are weighed and argued, and ultimately, at this point, don't have a lot of moments like this. Your job is to prove within a reasonable doubt that Asim-Ra is ... I would imagine in your case not the avatar of Ravan and the bringer of the oppressive sun that kills everything.
Well, in all honesty, this would be pretty simple. As if he was possessed or something. He was not in his right frame. He was controlled by outside forces. So honestly, Rufa does not know why we must go through all this.
Well, it's not my job to confirm or deny or correct or approve an argument. But what I will say is I just need an official statement that you are, as a team, representing the interests of Asim-Ra.
I mean,
And
I
Rufa's
can
gonna
just call up the platinum hammer.
Rufa's
I
gonna-
mean,
We only have
true.
an
We
hour.
probably got a guy.
Or, you know what else we could do? Rufa could head the case and we could help him, but he also, what's a co-lawyer called? Because they have assistants, right? Lawyers have assistants.
Yes, an assistant. Yes.
Yeah. So we would also be
Paralegal
your
usually.
assistant. But like your main assistant could be, hear me out, a champion of Iudex. You know, the god of law. You know that guy?
But
Well, he's got
there
champions.
is a fellow in Adafon we might be able to call upon, but it's not always wise to have somebody who will adhere to the exact wording of the law exactly all the time.
Whose
We
laws
need
here
somebody a little
are
flexible.
we adhering to?
You know, that's a good question. Hmm.
So my humble understanding is that there are laws that you would be enforcing in some way in this court. Whose are those today?
Oh, great question. Well, generally speaking, we observe three different laws here. The first is the Tenants of Duat. Well, of course, the world of the dead, as penned by Anubis. And well, there's some contention with Osiris, but we're not really talking about that right now. So the Tenants of Duat, also kind of the general law of ownership and property and individual freedoms as set out by Iodex, one of the many when they wrote the book. So that's also a good lead. If you'd like to get a champion of Iodex, I'm sure they would be very well versed in the laws of Duat as well. And the third is, generally speaking, the greater laws of, well, all celestial bodies, and because of Ravan, the laws of the nine hells too.
A question.
Yes.
Do you have like a big dramatic library of legal tomes in which we may prepare in?
We have resources to give you evidence and information. Yeah, if you need anything, let us know. We'll get that for you right away.
Well, at this point, we are in the discovery the portion of a trial. Procedure used to obtain disclosure of evidence.
Sure. Yes. So with the formal declaration of defense attorneys, I will go get you the evidence so far that's been accumulated in the trial, and some of our laws and bylaws, so that you can better prepare.
You're telling me that there's no conflicting laws amongst these four that you've given us? It seems a bit odd.
I mean, there's always a conflicting law.
Ah, great. Then wonderful. We will
Yes.
study for. Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh, and please be aware, we didn't mortal down the word of the gods or the devil lords. So please make sure you have something to prepare your immortal psyche and soul, or a simulacrum or some sort of homunculus that you can transfer part of your willpower into, so you don't completely succumb to cosmic knowledge and die.
Lufa does have a question. Lufa's question. So, in this court, are the opposing party, in this case the devils, are they bound by the law that we are procuring here?
They are bound by the structure of the courtroom.
And if they will perjure themselves in any way, is there any such penalty?
If you can prove it.
Okay.
Do you have like a little handy tutorial booklet on protecting your mortal psyche via simulacrum or something, like a zine?
Lawyers for dummies.
I think, hold on. And they reach in, they pull this magnificent stone tablet, and they lay it down, and it lands on the table with a heavy thud. You see dust come off the tome, and they start speaking the old tongue, and then they correct themselves. Okay, hold on, sorry. And then they start translating to common. Now, Kai, you know the old tongue. This is ancient Nubian tongue that the gods gave you, so you know it. But when they correct themselves to speak common, they say, so the first thing you want to do, whether by divine or arcane means or other possibilities, you want to create a sort of bound, empty, hollow flesh. Then you're going to want to make a copy paste of your soul and mind and put it in this flesh. Now, it's best to recommend to give yourself about a good 1 to 3 months time period, because if you are still alive when your soul is copy and paste and put into the creature, you don't want to see that. It does not go well. That's generally the safest way. Other things are elevate your psyche and enlightenment levels to that of a near cosmic being, or avatar-like state of demigodness. Otherwise, drink some cold water and bring a pillow and wear some socks and hope for the best.
One more question. How much time do we have in this discovery phase for us to procure evidence and resources?
Time is relative here. You get to spend as much time as you want coming up with your first argument. But we're gonna start first rounds pretty soon.
Will we have access to the plaintiff?
Oh no. Well,
We
not
do need
unless he himself directly is called into as evidence, but that would probably happen on the courtroom floor. You can do that then, yeah?
We will need to gather for evidence. We will need to talk to Asim-Ra to to get the full story.
Oh, don't worry. We already have that. You know what? I think I see where this is going. 1 second. I'll be right back. And the celestial vanishes.
Hate it here.
Eventually, as time passes, they come back and they have a golden box, a nice little rectangular golden box with gilded legs, kind of turning into claws, almost like bone claws. And it's about 2 by 5, rectangular. They place it down, open a latch. Inside the latch, you see 3 golden orbs, lovingly put into a velvet-lined box with little recesses to kind of, cradle the items in question. They have this kind of mercurial, golden, shimmery smoke that moves through them, constantly, slowly capitulating and moving. And when the Celestial presents this, they say, these are evidence memories that we are able to ascertain from the perspective and intelligence of Asim-Ra. This will be basically evidence for the trial. That and our law books, and I think that's it. Anything else? Coffee, water,
Coffee.
Yeah, coffee. Yeah,
Coffee?
Yep.
2 coffees,
Yeah.
black, sugar, cream.
Any more balls you put our friend in, or is that it?
Right now, these are the key notes as described by Asim-Ra when we put them in
Great.
detaining. Yeah.
Great. So how soon? How soon is? You said it was soon. What's soon to you, oh celestial creature?
So
Par it down to like minutes in your time, which is like days, maybe.
if
or
I
like
had to put a
seconds.
mortal spectrum to it, I'd say about a good 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. In this pocket, it'll probably be more like 5 to 7 years of nothing passing or ceasing to exist. It'll just be a pocket of stale time, but it'll be about 5 to 10 minutes in the courtroom.
Got it. Thanks. Yeah.
Okay. So with that being said, coffee, cream, sugar, wine. We have these wonderful drinks that we make from
there's wine
pomegranates
too?
and some rum and a little bit of
Yes.
Yeah.
Take the
All
wine.
of it.
I'll take
take the wine.
Yeah.
The pomegranate wine with you're gonna love it. Okay, great.
Coffee, black.
Coffee, black. You know what's up. The Celestial comes back in a heartbeat, and this giant golden tray places down. Your drinks are prepared lovingly, expertly in these amazing goblets made of bone and bronze. Okay, we'll be back to get you in about 10 minutes. Have a great. Yes.
If you can, also some a few of the books on the law we are going through here. We are going to be. Doing.
Oh, it's all on the tablet. It's all on the tablet. Okay. Anything else? Would you like someone from Iodex to kind of go over some law before we go? You have about 10 minutes after I leave.
Yeah, like a brief overview would be nice. Like the best person for the job. Send him our way, please.
Oh, okay. Sure. And then all of a sudden, their jackal maw opens up, and you see their eyes start to glow as this similar light echoes from their open, sharp teeth maw. The bright white light lights the entire abyss room that you're in, and suddenly you see what looks like a globe of light as parchment paper starts to spill out of it. And when the light vanishes, whoosh, in a big blast, you see a man and a woman standing there with massive tomes. And they kind of look around, remove glasses from their nose. I'm sorry, where are we exactly?
Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We got a thing you can help with. Don't worry about the where. I don't know.
Sure.
Cool.
Okay. You can see that the man is wearing armor, and from the look of his eyes, which have script running all over them, you see Justicar Q forward there with his book, and you see a cleric of Iodex, actually someone that worked at the academy who has like long parchments just adorning her robes, almost like long pieces going to the ground, like the dress itself is just made of litigation. And with that, the Celestial says, okay, wonderful. So you have your drinks, you have your I guess your references and your evidence. Have a great time
Can you
preparing your
ask
arguments.
them if they want anything? Like, it's a little rude for us
Oh,
to not like.
Oh, of course. Justicar Ford, and of course, Madame Codexa. Would you like anything? And Madame Codexa is like, I'll have a rum. Great. Would you like anything in it? No, just ice.
This is all
Great.
a lot,
We'll be
right?
right back. And then as she turns her book to look at Justicar Ford, suddenly poof, the drink appears in her hands and it kind of spills a little. She goes, God, by the letter. Ugh.
Can I try a diplomacy check, please?
Sure.
Okay, I just want to try and make them feel not so bad. Because if they feel bad, they might perform bad. We don't want that. Also, I feel like an asshole. Oh no! No! Wait, that's not that bad. 17.
Is that at all? What do you say to calm them down?
Hi, let me give you a quick rundown. Hello, my name is Alona. These are my friends. There's a lot of names. You don't have to remember them all. Justicar Ford, I believe we've met you before. If you remember us, we saved the world. You know.
Of course.
So right now we're trying to save our friend, who is fighting a possession from a devil lord.
Oh my.
And we're trying to argue his case as to why he is actually a devout follower of Ravan and not a devout follower of Ravan. Wait, what? There's a lot going on, but it's okay. It's okay.
Yes,
You'll
we
catch
had
on quick.
we're tasked with the burden of proof at this point.
Right. Within a reasonable doubt, you
Yes.
must basically acquit your defendant of any wrongdoing. So the wrongdoing in this case is possession?
Yeah.
Yes.
Am I right? This is possession. Do you have resource? Hold on a second. Give me a minute. You see Jessica Ford kind of take a deep breath. And suddenly his eyes open. You see a golden light peering out of his eyelids, and you can actually hear the audible sound of books being flipped, pages flapping in the breeze as he just starts learning the immediate knowledge of law about everything. And you see him kind of shaking a bit, and he starts violently shaking as like a little trail of blood comes from his nose. And then finally, you hear a book close, and it stops, wiping the blood from his nostrils.
Want a rum too?
Oh yes, I think a spot of rum would be quite lovely.
Yeah, let me just find the celestial being.
Yeah, if you
I'm just
could.
gonna
Oh.
wander off aimlessly for a moment.
Have you ever done math for 7 hours straight? That's how I feel.
No.
Oh, you are a blessed child for not having done math for 7 hours. Okay. So what do you
PJ.
need? What do you need? I can help you with references.
PJ, really quick. I was wondering if I could roll a legal lore with using the tablets to find if there's any written sort of contract. Usually with these possessions, so there's usually some sort of contract.
Sure. Go ahead and make a legal lore. You'll be referring to Jessica Ford as he is now the expert witness on 4 types of divine law. And it's not a pleasant experience.
Oh, ooh. Give me a second. And also this, I will get a +1 because one of my open cases is this case in particular, right?
Of course, absolutely.
Just wanna, okay, that's that plus legal. That is a 30.
Oh yeah.
I rolled a 19.
So Jessica Ford, he gets a chair and he sits down. And Ford just kind of takes a deep breath. And he goes, in the case of fiendish, or hereby now called diabolic law means if you are going into a contract with a devil, then the contract is only terms and agreements to that which the devil will provide moment of and I express this moment of being found in the loophole case 3. It is not the agreement made at the time of the agreement, but the agreement followed up with the time of cashing in. So if you want to know,
Hush.
what this basically comes down to is that it doesn't matter. If you made a deal with the devil, it is upon the devil and how that deal is interpreted when the time comes. It could be anything. You want power, maybe they give you a light bulb. It's like a lantern. It's in New Jack City. It's really fascinating.
What about
Oh, go ahead.
what about in cases of coercion where a person was tricked into a deal with the devil?
Fascinating. In those cases, usually coercion, if properly rebutted, can be null and void. Must be the reason for this court case.
Well, do I have something for you? And if I found rum, I'll give him the rum. But if I did not find rum, I will slide him the box.
He is absolutely just doming the rum that you were able
I
to
will hand him
apprehend.
my other wine.
He domes that.
Oh, damn.
What's up? Oh, you want the
I
wine?
was gonna do a quick snatch.
Give me, you know what? Just
Double
for
fist.
giggles. Do you want to make a an acrobatics check to get there first?
Nah.
Okay. So Codexa is immediately fascinated by what Ford is saying, and they're both just prattling a bunch of very archaic law terms. You would all know it, like things like habeas corpus and quid pro quo and a bunch of other things. Basically coming to the conclusion what they're already telling you, that this court case is really the only defense that Asim-Ra will get against the possession by a greater double lord. And that all you have to do is prove within a reasonable doubt that either A, Asim-Ra is rightfully the owned champion of another interest outside Ravon, meaning Ravon poached in a contract he could not, take from, or 2, that the contract between him and Ravon was never valid, never happened, or some of the loophole that would remove the contractual obligations, if so being existing.
Well, this is basically a proof of claim. Question: do we have a written statement here that would describe a reason the debitor would own the creditor money, but in this case, instead of money, it is the whatever Asim-Ra requested
Elias
for
is
the
shaking
situation.
the box. Psst, psst. The box. They put our friend in the box. Listen to the fucking box.
Yeah.
Yes, I believe you have enough litigation. You need to start making an argument. Remember, it is 10 minutes and that may be coming up soon. So why don't you do that? If you need any questions about the loopholes and whatnot, I don't know if I can help, but I know the laws. Yes, EG?
I have a question.
Sure.
Is there a loophole that involves trial by combat?
You'd have to fight Ravon himself. Or
Let's
Ra.
go.
I
don't-
look at I look at Sionovus. Can I do that?
I mean,
think?
you could. I don't. I mean, you could try, but I don't know if that'd be a good decision.
Okay.
Nothing could
Okay.
But I mean, I
possibly
heard
go wrong.
Persephone kicked his ass once, so I mean,
Hero point.
Rufus going to look in the box, the tablets, all that stuff to look for. I literally, like, before this game started, looked up a lot of legal terms and I have it prepped. Exclusionary contracts here, which is a contract or a lease which both parties to the agreement have duties remaining to be performed, and if the contract or lease is exclusionary, debitor may assume to keep the contract or reject it in terms of terminating said contract.
So before we go down that wonderfully relevant rabbit hole, have you consorted your evidence yet to see if there's anything that might actually be presented?
Continues shaking
Yeah,
the
no,
box.
You're doing that now?
Yeah, I'm doing
Cool.
that now.
Okay, so you grab the first orb, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so grabbing the first orb, you get the first memory, and it is Asim-Ra from his perspective, charging through the red wastes. And you see his spear and shield as he is just killing demons left and right. I mean, he is up to the elbow in demon blood. You're seeing all around him the other elves of Nubia and the humans that are in the lower valley of Nubia fighting, and they're being slaughtered by demons. And it is a gruesome, chaotic feat to behold. Eventually, everything stops as a horrible scream echoes in the sky. Not like a blood-curdling scream, a scream like someone's blowing a war horn. It lasts forever. And in fact, as you look from Asim-Ra's vision, you see on the horizon wind and sand start to kick up. And as the sand starts to kick up, you almost feel, as if you're Asim-Ra in his boots, a sense of relief and joy and excitement. As that sand starts to crest a dune, a tornado made entirely out of fire starts to break over the valley side and starts to pour into the red wastes. And you're seeing demons scream in fear and pain as they're being drawn into it, whipped around, singed, pulled apart. And Asim-Ra is just giving Nubian war chants and praises to the sun. And for a split second, as the fire is curling and twisting, you can see what looks like a visage of a man looking intensely mad. And he's just screaming through the fire. And then suddenly the tornado stops. The cadavers of demons fall into the red blood wastes and vanish. And then you see the fire fade. You see a man, shaved head, beautiful symbol adorned on his forehead, wearing a sort of leather kind of skirt. And he pulls out a massive axe and kind of cracks his neck. And you see coming over your shoulder this massive iron wrought chain and barbed wire fly, and Set knocks it back and screams in an ancient tongue. You feel scared. You look over your shoulder and you see a man dripping blood from his flesh with metal studs and chain links coming out of his body. His legs are wrapped in studded leather, and he pulls another chain link out of his arm and starts running. He throws a chain, and as it goes out, it goes towards your face, and immediately all is dark. That's the first memory. There's two more. Grasping the second one, the darkness finally fades, and it's sort of like a bruise. You see little stars, and you look up and you see the sun, and you feel Asim-Ra's relief by looking at the sun. But then you feel a sort of wet, sticky, trickling sensation on your back, like laying in melted snow, but your fingers grab and find purchase in sand. And as you look at the sand in your fingertips, the sand is clumpy and red. To this point in time that you can't lean up, that you realize the sand is mixing with your own blood, and that trickling sensation is your life leaving through your back. And then standing over you, same man with metal studded chain link skin, smiling. And he leans down. The last thing you see before the memory ends is this man saying to you, "I got plans for you, kid. Don't worry. If you do everything I tell you to, you're going to see her again real soon. So what do you say? Die here for nothing? Or come with me, and I'll show you power you never believed possible." And then as he extends a hand to your vision, everything goes black once more. End of memory 2. Memory 3. Asim-Ra wakes up in a cold room. You feel yourself shivering, like when you catch yourself in the middle of the winter without a jacket and the sun is down and the cold stabs through your bones. You're in a dark, craggy room. There's no lights, but you can see two bodies wrestling and boxing and just pulverizing each other. One is the man with the studded chain link skin, red, blood dripping off him, bald head. The other one is a man with an eye patch, 2 long horns and a very well-kept mustache. And they are trading violent blows, and they are trading vicious insults, and they're calling each other mockery, failure, reject. And you look up, and there's a little exit hole. And as you look at them, you suddenly feel your whole body just try to escape. And you start climbing and climbing, and you break through the hole in the ceiling, and you start climbing and climbing. And you see a man next to you who looks a lot like Larian Voss, but if he was a human. And you see thousands of years with this man becoming best friends, but you're climbing and you're climbing for thousands of years. And you meet all these other warriors and priests and survivors climbing until eventually a gold light appears, a hand's extended, and reaching out with a hand is a simple coin and a voice that says, "You know, buddy boy, there's someone up here who misses you mighty fierce, and I think she's earned your return. So, how about one more deal? Whatever it takes, I'll get you back." And Asim-Ra, your hand reaches for the coin, you take it, and then you rush, and the next thing you're looking at is Shionibus, who has that kind of look like, "Excuse you?" And that's the last memory.
Just for clarification, PJ, the second memory I've already seen once, right?
Yeah, Ravon gifted you that memory.
Okay, cool. Because I couldn't remember if it was a Ravon or Felix when she had her first deal with Felix.
You know what? Now that you say it, it was both. Felix showed you the first image of him dying in the desert. Ravon was the one that also, I think, brought it back.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
So that's the evidence you're given so far. The fighting, the death, and for lack of a better word, the resurrection. Right now, the evidence is very stilted. You now have to come up with an argument that either proves or disproves the reasonable doubt of Asim-Ra's placement.
Question. So during these memories that we experienced, did we see at any time Asim-Ra taking the deal from Ravon?
You saw everything I told you.
He shook his hand.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When he was
dying, right? No.
Give me a perception check.
Because I don't believe so. We just faded black.
Rewind the
That's a
VOD.
25.
25. The last thing you saw in memory was
playback.
Ravon offering a hand to Asim-Ra. Asim-Ra's view went black.
Yeah.
What's the coin?
Also, Rufus gonna kind of write a list. It says, on top it says, why am I blanking on the name? What do you call it when you call somebody to the stand again? Witnesses, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he writes down Felix Chance on top of that.
Okay.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, technically, yeah, Felix Chance did rescue him because of Chio's wish. Ooh.
That's what the coin is, Tobias.
One second, Michael. Was that Sidney?
Basically, we have inconclusive evidence whether or not Asim-Ra made the choice or if he was taken. We don't know. And I'm scared that Ravon is going to lie. Was there anybody else that was there that saw this besides Asim-Ra, who blacked out, and Ravon, who stole him and took him to hell?
Actually, can I roll perception on that? See if there was witnesses in that first memory.
I'll let everyone make a perception check for that. Absolutely.
Hello, Raid.
Oh, hello, Raid.
Yay!
Oh, hello, Tabletop Rolls. So good to see you.
Hell yeah.
Hey. What's up, Will and Matt and McKenna and everyone else?
Let's see. What's my perception bonus? 10.
24.
That is a 27.
27. Was your Sidney?
24.
24. Nice. Tobias, were you making a perception check as well?
Oh, absolutely not.
Nope. Okay. So So you're looking at all the memories, all the evidence so far of Asim-Ra's trial for day one, round one, and this is what you can piece together. What you saw in memory one: Asim-Ra fighting, everyone getting slaughtered. Set of the firestorm, king of the red wastes, of the red sand, showing up and killing the demons right the hell back. And just then, Ravan himself enters and battles Set. Now, Shionibus and Alona, you would know this from studying the histories of Nubia. This is not uncommon. Set and Ravan have a thing going on, and they do not like one another. They definitely want to kill one another. And then the next video, or the next evidence, it's Asim-Ra by himself looking up as he's dying to Ravan, who offers him another chance and some sort of greater power. You don't see anything else in that vision, just Ravan. So if you can think about all the entities in this situation before the third, where Ravan actually goes to the ninth hell and is stuck with Ravan and Magadan, you see what players exactly? Think about this for a second.
So are you alluding to the fact that Set might have still been there? The answer is yes, because you're like, yeah, I don't know. And Kylie's like, of course. And so yes, Set was still there. Can we call upon Set as a witness?
You can petition to call Set as a witness. Absolutely. Worst case scenario, get one of his celestials.
Rufus going to write a Set on his list of witnesses.
Being within this culture for thousands of years, would I know the best offering to give Set as a hey, not just a hey, we need you, more of just like a hey, if you could help us, it'd be pretty cool.
Give me a religion check. You would, absolutely, but there's tiers to this, so I wanna give you the tiers.
Please, Set, can we
You're
have
the DM.
a soul?
It's your job.
19.
19. Okay. So I'll give you all three. So the baseline, bottom line is any animal sacrifice. Like, hey, here's a goat that we really liked. This is a very important because it's food source and it can be used for like everything around here. You're kind of a big deal. Boom, a goat. Number two would be any amount of anything precious to you that's material, like gold, money, wealth, something explicitly personally to you. Could even be like a weapon that you can sacrifice because you fought a lot of people with this weapon. Set, before he became the king of the Red Wastes, was a warrior god. He loves weapons of glory. And the last, and this is very specific to only one myth, but it's a very prevalent myth, a testicle.
What?
Mhm.
Okay, so
Mhm.
PJ, you're going a little specific here as the one nut of the group.
No. This is, look, in the battle between Set and Horus, there was a whole thing.
It's true.
There was a whole thing, and that's what I'm going to say. So top tier level 1.
Man, I'm now saying I lost my left nut in a sacrifice to Set.
Who said we're sacrificing you? Keep talking, we might. But
Oh no. You don't have full context. I will tell you later.
That's definitely a for
now
later.
I'm concerned.
Oh, Dopey, it's fine.
It's very
He's
good.
alive. That's what matters. But yes. That's the top tier gift to Set. Is that? So the choice is yours.
PJ. Oh, sorry.
I have all my weapons still on me. I am going to take out Asim-Ra's scimitar. Is the ground underneath us dirt? Sand?
It's it's just a normal sandstone floor, but Alona can tell you you can make a ritual sacrifice anywhere.
Cool. Alona, you've read so much about my home, and I need a favor.
Okay, what is it?
I need a ritual done as quickly as possible for an offering as quickly as possible. You can have Tobias help you. I don't care. I just need it done like now before we ask Set to be like, kind of a big part of this trial.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. Religion check for ritual.
Okay. So if you're gonna do a ritual, that means everyone's got to get involved, and we have to have a number of successes to the ritual. And considering that this is a big deal, you are summoning fully the presence of a greater Egyptian deity, a Nubian deity. We're just gonna go with that. So if you'd like to do that, first you'll need the item to be sacrificed. This will make the DC easier. From there, everyone's going to have to make a DC of their choice, but there will have to be the primary skill done by the person who's starting the ritual. That has to be religion. So if we're going to summon Set, what is the item of sacrifice? And Sidney, yes.
Oh, I'm just wondering if Shonibus told Alona about what would be a good sacrifice to get the ritual started.
She's going to take out the scimitar and just like have it in both hands and hand it to Alona.
Is this for the nut? I'm sorry. I had to. Okay. I'm done. Wait, it got warm. Okay. Alona starts the ritual with the scimitar.
Okay. So then we are going to make this a hard and not very hard ritual for your level, meaning that this will be a 22 DC check. The primary roller has to do a religion check to beat a DC 22. Everyone else, with proper reasons why, can explain to me what they're rolling as well. All we need is 3 out of 5 successes, and you're going to summon Set, the hero god of the Red Wastes.
Okay.
No pressure.
No pressure. None at all. I mean, I have one hero point. If there was any time to use it, I hope it's not now, but it would totally be now. I'm gonna use it.
Oh no.
I'm gonna use it. It's gonna be fine. And okay, it's not the worst. It's not bad because my religion's really high and I'm speaking with confidence. It's a 25.
Oh yeah, success.
Okay. Great, cool, sweet.
All right, so
Better than a 3.
yeah, who's next on the ritual, and what skill are you rolling?
What are we doing?
Good question. So basically, after looking through a lot of the evidence, your conclusion was that the last witness to anything related to Ravan and Asim-Ra before Asim-Ra went to hell, one of the 9 hells, was Set the god themselves. And you're trying to summon Set so you can have them be a witness in this courtroom, using a sword as a ritual component to do the ritual to summon him. All you need to do is choose what skill roll you are doing to help the ritual to summon Set. The DC is 22.
What would physically, because my question is like, Ichi doesn't know anything about rituals.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so what would come to mind? Or I guess is like what's happening is Alona, like, help me with this ritual, smash this rock, Ichi.
Sam, I just got an idea. If you want to refer to a meme of basically that meme with Moon Knight saying, "Hey Dracula, where's my money, you nerd?"
What you can do is you can do a performance check, combative display, or you can do an athletics check. Again, more strength of prowess kind of thing.
You could also throw in an offer of your own. I'm sure wouldn't be looked down upon.
So Alona, and Tobias, I guess religious people. So how do I help? Do you want me to like dance in a circle?
So what you can do is something that is personal to you, that you are good at, and that has to do with combat because Set is a big fighty god, or whatever really you want, but it has to be personal to you.
Is there a big rock in here? Like a boulder?
The celestial appears with the boulder. Here you
Oh,
go.
thank you. I'm gonna
That's a
lift this
nice
boulder. I need a
boulder.
bigger boulder.
You need a big.
Sorry.
Hold on. They grab the boulder and almost like they're like on an iPhone, like trying to make it like swipe horizontally. They just grab the rock and they just and they make it much bigger.
All right, I'm gonna lift the boulder for your ritual. Do you think that's gonna work? Do you think that's good? Someone nod, please. Anyone?
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
that's
okay.
You're
okay.
you're doing great, honey.
Thank you.
You're practically luchadorable.
Said the
Hero
thing.
point.
Speaking of that, I'm gonna use my hero point. Also, for posterity chat, I did receive a hero point in the green room right before I went on. Okay, so I am gonna use that second hero point because we talked about okay. One more time. Yeah. That's better. It's not the worst. 22.
Okay, that's right on the DC. Nice. That is a success. You have 2 out of 5 to have this ritual be success. You just need 3 out of 5, so you're looking really good.
You know what? Can I roll legal lore for this? Because this is a legal thing.
Sure, absolutely.
All right.
You can do illegal lore as part of the ritual. Also, thank you so much, the Massive Hype Train. Thank you guys so much.
Hell yeah. Thank
Love to
you.
see it. Thank you.
Maybe the if we get to level 5, we'll win the case. I don't know if you can do that. You probably can't, but like I'm nervous.
Also, just so you know, Ichiad lifted that rock like, somebody doing some dramatic powerlifting. Like looked around at y'all for approval, like sweating, and then drops it and is like, do you think that's like religiously appropriate?
Your religion is smash. That's all that matters.
You're right.
I got a 27, so Rufus going to issue a bench warrant for Set.
Okay, all right. Unless anyone else wants to make a roll, we have our 3 successes. So, Sidney, tell me, through the weapon placed in the ritual and as it continues, as you place it down, you see this kind of coming out of nowhere, this sigil starts to appear in the ground, almost like lights piercing the veil between time and space and forming it as 2 hands drawing a symbol together. And as they finish the sigil, you see the symbol of Set, the destroyer, the betrayer, the trickster, and the hero, a complicated god who has been through eons of a complex relationship. And you see the sword start to hover in the air. And what do you say across the veil to speak to Set, to bring him to this place?
Oh, before we do,
One second. Sidney, what do you say?
Set, God of the sands, we humbly call upon you to ask for aid. A warrior, noble in nature, we believe has been wrongfully taken advantage of by one of the devil lords of the 9 hells. We are asking for your assistance in proving his innocence, hoping that you will come to the court of Anubis and plead for his case as a witness that he was wrongfully taken to hell against his will.
The sword hovers in midair. And as you beseech the veil with your voice, the sword stops hovering, stops shaking, and you see appearing inch by inch, knuckle by knuckle, a finger after finger appear and start to curl around the handle of the sword until a thumb curls around it, the blade goes upright, and you see an arm start to form until eventually stepping as if through curtains of darkness, you see Set appear. You see a man, bald shaved head, glorious symbol of his own name on his forehead with the leather battle skirts with the studs in it. And you see golden jewelry and a gorget and long hanging medallion of his own name. You see a leather strap with weapons crossing his back. He grabs the sword, kind of puts it across his skin, smells the steel. All right. You say Ravon did it?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't get along with that guy. It's kind of a prick. Okay.
It's great. This is great. Everything's great. What do our poor two nerds, or what are they doing in reaction to this bullshit?
Looking in the corner of the room, you see Lady Codexa holding two books and clutching them like eyes wide. Justicar Ford has his shield and his crook stick. His
I'm gonna
cudgel.
go walk over and just hang out with them, just acting unfazed, and just gonna be like, "Hey, man, y'all good?"
Grand Hospitalier. It's a pleasure to see you.
Yes.
By the word of law, what in the bloody hell is happening?
Might I mention?
Yes.
Also, you're looking lovely today, Codexa.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm more than happy to assist. There's a lot of words of law happening right now, and your presence is very appreciated, as is your guidance. We will get you home once we're done. Thank you for your help.
Oh, pleasure to help. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm learning a lot here. And Jessica Ford just goes, "Is it common to be standing in front of gods for you?"
You know, being the Grand Hospitalier, I must say, I'm a bit used to it, but it's fine. Would you like a bluff check for that?
I mean, it's not really a lie.
It's kind of not. I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, your choice, diplomacy or deception.
Let's see what I've got here.
It's like a Tuesday for us, honestly.
I mean, not wrong. That will be a natural one.
Natural one.
In diplomacy. So that is a 13 total.
So thank you, Joe. I love that whiff. So as you say this, Jessica Ford looks at you and goes, I'm one of the head justicars of the entire order. I've never seen a god face to face in my life. I pray all the time to Iodex. I'm lucky if I even get a feeling. And you are summoning gods of foreign nations and you act like it's, I think you called it Tuesday? What the collective fuck, man?
Well, I mean, I understand you're not with the Platinum Hammer. It's a bit different of an order.
I am, but I'm on sabbatical because I'm doing world law stuff.
Well, exactly. You're on sabbatical. I do have to say, my friend, things change on occasion.
Oh my goodness, I need to go back right away. Apparently I can meet Iodex in person. I can ask about so many bylaws.
PJ, two things.
He's a nerd, what can I say?
Two things. Can I actually use, I just realized, can I use I have a feat called No Cause for Alarm.
Mm-hmm.
My second thing was, Rufus going to kind of lean into Justicar Ford and goes, from what we learned here, that does it say that any witnesses that we summon here, are they bound to tell us the truth in this place?
Who are you asking again? Oh, Jessica Ford?
Ford.
He'll tell you they're only bound to answer your questions. If you can prove what they've said is a lie, then obviously it's stricken for the record and they would be punished. But again, they're only here to answer questions. Whether or not they're truthful is kind of irrelevant half the time.
And PJ, I got a 26 on my roll, which attempt a diplomacy check comparing the will DC of creatures in a 10-foot emulation around me who are frightened. So I could reduce their frightened condition by either 1 or 2.
So as Jessica Ford is rattling off law and precedent and bylaws, you see him start to kind of calm down. Something about being the grand compository of all law and speaking about the laws is kind of making him feel like it's this emotional blanket in a sense. Codexa is kind of the same. She continues to speak about laws too, and they both calm down and they feel safe.
I just realized this is actually a very useful feat.
So with that set, just kind of continues to test the edge with his thumb, and he says, "You didn't answer my question, or maybe you didn't hear me, or maybe I didn't ask it. Ravon's a prick, but what's all this? What's in this for me? If I'm going to help you,
Just got a sword.
that was." I roll out of bed for a sword, but if you want me to work, you're going to have to give me something to work.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was that out loud?
Intimidation.
My apologies.
I heard you, mortal. Be careful.
Rufus is going to speak up. Abject humiliation against your foe, Levon. I'm going to play on Set's sense of pettiness.
Give me a diplomacy check.
I'm good at these.
I feel like that's also a Tuesday for him.
So much research on set, and this is all such dangerous knowledge.
I just finger
You said
guns him,
diplomacy,
like,
right?
Yep.
30.
30. So you say you get to humiliate him, and he turns, stopping in favor of the blade. He, with a finger twist, he puts his hand behind the back. The blade vanishes into thin air, and he goes, "So you're telling me if I do this, win or lose, I get to cuck that little bastard?"
Oh yes, very, very much.
Good.
And be sure to remind him on at least once a week.
Trust me. You won't forget.
Bet. Set.
I don't want to hero point that, but I'm gonna hero point that, Tobias. For those of you that are wondering, Set apparently really loved emasculating other males. Bisexual dominance. It's one of his big things. I'm sorry. So you just offered Set the opportunity to do this with one of his greatest diabolic enemies. And he's like, "You got me."
Yeah, and he suddenly becomes like a kid in an Xbox Live lobby. Like, damn, this man's been playing Fortnite and Call of Duty.
He's saying terrible things about your mother, you know. But unlike those kids in the Call of Duty, he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna screw you, and I'm gonna make you a sandwich. I'm gonna kick you out of my lobby when I'm done." So Set says, "All right, I'll be your witness. What? We're probably going to be called soon. Do you guys actually have an argument, or am I just here
Yes,
Nah,
to?
you're just here.
It's just me. I'm the argument."
We do have a question for you, great God Set.
Yeah, that's right. The whole name. Don't skimp it next time.
When you were battling the Van in the desert and Asim-Ra was there and all this thing happened, did you actually witness Asim-Ra accept Lavan's offer, or did Lavan just do what he wanted to do?
For the record, we show him the orbs so he knows what we're
Yeah.
talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's looking at the orbs. He's taking all the evidence. He's talking to all. And he says, "I don't remember seeing a handshake. That doesn't mean it didn't happen. I was surrounded by fire and sand and thousands of his dead little cronies. I saw him reach out a hand, and I saw them both just descend." But I mean, I can put that on I can go on the witness stand and say that.
It's something because you didn't see something
Yes.
means
To clarify, it was Ravon who offered the hand, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Pretty. I don't really think Asim-Ra was in a position to raise his hands. The man had a hole in his stomach about the size of a wheel.
And you did not hear any agreement from the part of the defendant.
I wasn't listening. I was watching, barely. I was kind of laughing. But if I'm being honest, I saw Ravon standing over him, extending a hand. They descended. Could have been a verbal agreement. I don't know. But I didn't see anything.
Question. If I walk around this chamber, are there hieroglyphics like adorned on the walls?
Are there hieroglyphics on the wall? Yes, there are.
If I read them, if I can read them, does it tell me about the past or the future?
Most of the hieroglyphics in this talk about Anubis and kind of his gifts, what you know about the embalmment, judging the dead, and of course the punishment of those, and Sobek, the great, heart eater. It's really more so, it's nothing prophetic. It's mostly just kind of like, welcome to Set's busy room. This is Set. I'm sorry, Anubis. Like how awesome Anubis is. Look at all the things Anubis gave us. He's so great.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
That's all.
All right, great. Is there any other questions, comments before you move to court to present your first argument?
Actually, Rufus going to turn over to the party. We could right now we could take Seth's testimony to as our evidence, but we also did perhaps it'd be prudent to also issue a subpoena to Felix Chance, as we did see him at the end.
Yeah, that could be our second witness. I mean, I imagine the witnesses that will call to the stand are Set, Asim-Ra, and for character, Shionibus. You're the one who knows him the most, and if anyone is going to be able to save him, it's probably you.
The thing is, I knew him. I don't know if I know him anymore.
That doesn't matter.
Also, sometimes we pretend to keep our boyfriends from being damned for all eternity.
But wouldn't that be underlying?
Well,
this is court. It's the entire job of the system to lie.
But we're surrounded by gods who could smite me.
Yeah, but you lie to your advantage and don't lose. That's all court has been, will be, and has ever been.
I'm not saying lie. I'm more saying you say you knew him before, but I don't know if I know him now. Just pretend like you feel like you do know him now. That's not a lie. That's just confidence.
That's just a polite lie and through omission.
Really quick, when Shionibus said that she doesn't want to lie to a god, Rufus is going to kind of give her a look.
Yeah, we don't all lie to gods. That could smite us.
So only if they could smite us. If not, then it's okay.
I feel like all gods have the power to smite us, do they not?
Right back. Keep going. I love this dialogue. Keep going.
But the only hold in our case right now is honestly that Rufus could see is with Felix Chance, unless he made some kind of deal behind Asim-Ra's back with Ravon.
Well, I feel like the questions that we need to ask Felix are the conditions of the coin, which is also why Shionibus needs to be brought to the stand. Because I don't feel like if Asim-Ra were compromised when he was brought out of hell, Felix Chance could have or would have done that. Does that make sense? Does that sound like an argument?
True.
Well, then should we go ahead, Michael?
Honestly, it also sounds like it could be. We got to make sure that it's not some sort of conspiracy with a deal, like as Rufus said, between us, Ravon and Felix Chance. That is one of our blind spots at the moment.
I can tell you now he doesn't like him. So
out of character.
And it was Kioma that was the one that, well, I mean, I technically made a deal with Felix, but Kioma gave him the coin to get him out of hell. So would that be us having Kioma now?
Really quickly, Kylie, out of character, is it when you say that was that referring to Felix Chance or Ravon?
Felix Chance.
Okay.
I'm fairly certain
Felix Chance doesn't like Ravon.
Ravon.
Okay.
But I mean, I'll fact check with PJ.
Okay.
What's that?
Does Felix Chance like Ravon from my interactions? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay.
About this time, the Celestial comes to gather you for court. They offer you basically the door and say, "All right, now it's time. Come. We're gonna have to swear in." Master Set. It's a pleasure to be here. What are you doing here? And Set just kind of looks and goes, "I'm here to answer some questions." Oh. Okay, well, we're gonna swear.
You said we couldn't just call on gods willy-nilly. I'm just gonna.
No, that's a bold opening defense. Okay, well, we're gonna have you come in. Master said it'll be a pleasure to swear you in. And we're going to have the first round of deliberations. Wonderful, come right this way. And the door opens, and your bodies are being thrown through this pitch black abyss. You see Set, kind of like that one guy on the metro or the bus who's just standing in the middle, like, taking the weird, awkward balance of it, like, I don't need a chair. Like, that's Set. You rush back to the courtroom. Anubis is now back in his throne with his executioner's weapon, his scale almost this monolith, some 20, 25 feet just towering above him. You see Asim-Ra just kind of sitting on this nice bench inside like one of those waist high brass enclosures, just kind of resting. He kind of waves when he sees you. The witness stand is next to Anubis. As you come into the room, you see two tables. One table that is set for all of you and your witness until they're called. And on the other side, you see the prosecution. You see what appears to be a double that looks like a bipedal dragonoid made entirely out of bones. And they're kind of looking at some papers. Okay, and you are looking at a lesser devil that has been called in to be your prosecution, your prosecuting attorney. Anubis just kind of looks bored waiting. He sees Set. Set, why are you here in my courtroom chambers? They called me in as a witness.
No wave.
Why are you bringing my family into this?
I stop waving immediately.
All right,
Could have been the last one to see him. I should have consulted with you first, but time was of the essence.
Understood. It is a bit unorthodox, but we will move forward as we will. Set, please take the witness stand. We will swear you in. Set walks over. Your new sword, the sword you gave him, is on his back with all his other weapons. He turns. He doesn't even sit. He just stands. The celestial proffers forth this beating heart, and Set just kind of, all right, puts his hand on it. Set, do you promise to answer all questions presented to you to the best of your abilities? Do you promise to grant us your wisdom in all things until such time as you're relieved? And do you promise to to do your best to respect the sanctity of this trial. Yeah, go. Get out of here, you idiot. The Celestial is, okay, and he just kind of scutters away. And Set just kind of sits there, folds his arms. All right, so how does this work? Defense gets first call in this case. So, defense, who is going to come forward and ask questions of Set? Who's your attorney? I got a letter saying that you were all defending.
We all actually make one giant attorney. Last I had heard.
All right.
I'm sorry. Now I'm visioning Mecha Shiva.
100%.
Shoulders.
So who is coming forward to start asking questions?
If my fellow tennis here, Rufa stands up.
Yeah, Ichi like hip checks Rufa like into the center.
Really quickly, PJ, also I want to know, in your world, Edge of Legend world, is Set also, his titles and everything are kind of same as Earth Set, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like God of Desert, Storms, and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Rufa's gonna stand up and kind of, bows to Anubis, bows to Set, does the proper thing in the court of law, especially when they're gods. Oh, great Set, God of the desert, storms and disorder. Rufa thanks you for taking time out of your busy schedule to attend to us today. So, we ask you here to testify of what you have seen during the battle of the sand with you and Avan, with the defendant Asim-Ra. A bargain that was made, but was that really a bargain actually? For I asked that witness here that first, you were there, were you not?
Yes, I was.
When you saw the Ravan make the offer to Asim-Ra, did you witness the defendant actually accepting any sort of offers or sign any sort of contract or anything of that sort?
As my testimony, as I looked upon the red waste sand and beheld the body of Asim-Ra and Ravan, I saw Asim-Ravan extend a hand. I saw no other physical gesture of kind from Asim-Ra. I did see Asim-Ra descend with Ravan, though I didn't see any physical gesture of agreement.
So, a bargain was asked, but a bargain was not made. In this case, honestly, we asked for this is honestly a whole mistrial. That no bargain was made, no deal was struck. So Ravan has no claim to our defendant.
Give me a diplomacy check. Now that we're actually in the trial proper, and until the trial is done, this will be considered a social encounter. Now, what that means as far as Pathfinder 2e is that right now you're all starting off with neutral alignment to Anubis. As you make arguments, as you cast spells, as you do things to prove your point and create your arguments, you will have to either make rolls or cast spells or both to somehow influence this in your favor, being that Anubis is the final right and trial of this. Now, each round, the first person to get to the highest positive statement with Anubis and hold it for 3 rounds will win that round of these deliberations. That being said, we just started. Everyone's neutral. This is the first roll of the actual trial. Michael, what's your diplomacy check?
28.
28. This will be a DC based off of the level of the person making the argument, which is important for a lot of reasons. So first being said, 28.
Mm-hmm.
You beat it by 2.
Yes.
You have moved from neutral to the next step in the social encounter. As with this evidence from Set's testimony, Anubis kind of eyes squint. Do you have any other questions for your witness?
Rufus gonna turn over and look at the party if they have anything they want to add.
I'll say something. Also, out of character, I argue that Shionibus should have advantage because she is she follows Anubis. Anyway,
Child of Anubis.
Really quick,
Just
before you
say
do
it. Just
that,
throwing it out there.
Before
What was that?
Before Alona does anything, I just want to make a note. Rufus going to aid her in any checks if she needs to make any.
This will be on her. You can't aid her in
Oh,
this. No.
okay.
Okay.
My argument is if Asim-Ra's pre-existing contract with Ra was intact, even if Asim-Ra did take a contract with Ravon, it would be null and void anyway, because his soul is already promised to Ra. But as we saw, Asim-Ra did not accept any sort of deal with Ravon, and therefore was wrongly taken physically into the 9th layer of hell and has been spending his entire time trying to escape and get back to his beloved.
Okay. Your choice, religion or diplomacy?
Which one's better? It's definitely religion. I don't even know why I had to check. Yeah, it's gonna be a religion check. I already used my hero point. Did I get another one for being funny? I don't think I did this episode.
Yeah.
Gotta be funnier. Can I give
Damn
her
it.
one of my hero points? Is that funny?
I'm gonna say no right now.
It's okay. I rolled pretty okay on this one. I rolled really well, so we're okay.
Okay.
For the minute. And that's a 32.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Very, very good.
Yes.
Okay. So as you start saying these words, you kind of see this look of resignation on Anubis's face, just nodding like, all right, this clearly is a complete misunderstanding. Is there any other statements that your party would like to make before I turn it over to the prosecution?
I'm gonna nudge Shionibus and be like, hey, you should speak on Asim-Ra's character right now, so Anubis knows, because he trusts you as an acolyte, that Asim-Ra, the Asim-Ra that you know, would never accept a deal from Ravon.
Would that be saved
Asim-Ra?
for later?
I mean, I don't know if.
I mean, I can do that when I'm the witness.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Okay, never mind. Just kidding.
Okay. If there's no one else that wishes to ask a question or present an argument or have any bit of play here, Anubis is then going to turn to the prosecution. Set is still standing. The prosecution, this kind of humanoid draconic being made of what looks like bones, kind of, he gets up and he walks over to Set. And he's kind of looking at notes and he goes, Set, is it true that maybe it's very possible that in that battle that there may have been a verbal agreement? I believe at the time Asim-Ra, as the evidence suggests, was quite wounded. It may not have been possible for him to lift his hands up to reach Ravon's hand in kind. Would it be possible for verbal agreement?
Leading.
Do you have any hero points left?
Actually, I never spent any.
You can use a hero point to make any sort of objection to interrupt the argument. Yes, you can.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, I will.
Okay. So you say objection leading. You put that out there.
Yeah.
And Anubis just goes, agreed. You are leading the witness into his testimony. Please stop asking such leading questions and do it again. Thank you, Your Gracious. Set. Did you hear any verbal agreement? Set just goes, I heard nothing. You heard nothing. Your Honor, Judge, as prosecution, it comes down to the idea of reasonable doubt. Since he heard nothing, this witness must be removed, and as must be their testimony, as there is no way he can be an expert in what happened in that conversation between him and Ravon. Ravon offered a hand. They descended together, but he couldn't hear anything. I argue that this witness be removed because in the ancient law, Ravon found him, they went together, so we can only assume the contract was kept. I'd like to cite the precedent, finders v. keepers, Your Honor.
Yeah, you do that. You do that first. I have great things to. Yep, let's go.
Objection.
Do you have a hero point to make the objection?
I do.
Awesome. Burn that hero point to make the objection. What is your cause for objection?
He's essentially saying that a god who is ruler of that domain is wrong.
Okay. As you make that call, Anubis kind of has a crafty smile, and Set also has a crafty smile, and they both look at you like, yeah. And Set, as he smiles, looks back to the demon or the devil. Ask it again. And the demon just goes, or the devil just goes, Your Honor, I'd like to cite another precedent. Is it not impossible? Your Honor, so Set here, Set. Was Asim-Ra part of your cadre of chosen champions? No. His name would be Asim Set then. Right. So you're not the leader of his champion's way. Do you know the content of Asim-Ra's heart? No, of course not. Okay. Can you point to the defendant? Yeah, he's over there in the cage. Where are you going with this? I would like to ask the defendant to tell me if he honestly believes Asim-Ra would not take up such an offer based on his current position as master of the domain in which he died in. Any objections?
Can I make something even though I don't have any 0 points right now?
No, but if there is time for a counter argument, you can present it then. Okay. He's going to roll.
I will offer an objection. It does seem that you have a lack of foundation for your argument. I do not foresee you gaining any form of expertise from these witnesses gathered that will answer that question particularly. You need to consult the evidence that we have gathered.
Anubis kind of nods, sustained. Yes.
And I would like to strike it from the record as our motion is sustained.
Okay, a little extra spicy. I'm going to ask you to make a diplomacy check to get that struck from the record.
We're gonna look at my
Not
diplomacy
just an
score.
objection, but a request to strike from the record.
Yeah, we were sustained.
That's true. You were. You could make that request.
26.
Yeah. So you see Anubis just kind of go, done. With a flick of his wrist, you see this giant kind of like limestone tablet where everything's being written. And then all of a sudden, like it stops and then it goes back and all the hieroglyphs kind of erase and it starts again at the last moment.
Thank
and
you, Your Honor. Yeah, that seems right.
Of course. Devil, you better be going somewhere. This round's not looking good for your argument. Okay. Set. How do you feel about the prosecuting's representative, Ravan? I want to rip his throat out from his neck and beat him on the head with it until I cave his skull in. I want to, and I'm not just hyperbolic, I want to put my fingers into his eyes, rip his skull from his face, and bowl his dumb head back to where he came from. And whatever's left, I want to pound into the dirt. Okay. Yeah, that was so I'd like to add that to the evidence, please. Anubis just kind of goes, all right. We're going this will add to the evidence. Okay. All right. Now I'd like to present Exhibit F, the testimony just given by Ravan or by Set about Ravan. I would like to ask, is it not possible that we remove the witness because they're clearly biased against my client, Ravan? That maybe they're only here because they like to kind of to disregard his character and such being, and that he should be removed?
Is out of character. Is that a thing that we can object because he's defaming character of a god?
If you have a hero point, you can object. If not, you have to wait for your counter argument.
I don't.
And Sam, if you have anything you want to offer as well, you can throw out a hero point. You can have a role play moment, anything.
I used all my hero points on lifting a rock.
It
I
was
can
a
lift
very
more
big
rocks
rock.
if you need them.
I love you.
Quick, tell a pun.
Until
Well, these laws are written in stone, and if you need the stone smashed, let me know.
I will give you a hero point for that. Do you wish to object to this?
I think Ichi's so dumb. She doesn't understand anything that's happening, to be
Rufa
honest.
offer something
she
to
going
her.
to?
I respect you so much.
If you want to object, Sam, you can definitely have that moment of like objection, and then look to someone for some guidance. Absolutely.
I don't think she would. I don't think she knows really what's bad and what's good right now. She's just kind of.
Okay. Then
I will absolutely throw my second hero point in.
Okay.
I would like to object again, because this is seeming necessary. Now, I feel as though you likewise called upon an opinion of knowing someone, and knowing because they are not a follower of that god, that they wouldn't understand. So what, in what I would now call an objection with an improper lay of opinion, be wherein you are summoning forth the circumstances of speaking for this god and who they are.
Okay, hold on. All right. So with that, the lesser devil just kind of has a panic and goes, I would like to cite the president of Representative V client as the lesser devil put here by Ravan. He has given me the power to speak on his behalf, and I can call upon that name because I am for him, Anubis, sir.
And not Set.
Give me a quick diplomacy check.
16.
Okay. Anubis is now going to make a roll. So Anubis looks to you all, looks to the devil, looks to Set and Asim-Ra. What was asked of you was to present upon my courtroom reasonable doubt. What I have is enough information to suggest there was never a contract in the first place. And I am having character assassinations of gods and devils in my courtroom. And while maybe I would allow that, I'm not given reason to believe it is justified evidence or creating reasonable doubt. Devil, be gone from my chambers. He rolled a critical 20.
Oh, also nice waffle dice.
Well, thank you. That's from maple syrup and waffles. One of our friends, and they make a really great dice. The devil panics. The lesser devil starts panicking. I'm sorry. Like I'm not a lawyer. I'm a warrior. Ravon said if I did this, I would get ascended. And suddenly you see chains breaking up from the ground like mighty serpents. A legion of heavy wrought iron barbed wire chains break from the reality veil. He looks around. No, Ravon, I'm so sorry. Ron, I'll make this up for you. Please, Ravon, I'm so sorry. They wrap around him, creating a steel mummy of chain and barbed wire. He screams in pain as you see blood broken from the bone of his body. And he is pulled into an abyss. And you hear a voice. You will pay me back. You will pay me back, you lesser devil. But in the meantime, I would like to call upon my new prosecuting attorney. Suddenly a door appears. From this gross umbral flame, and the door just opens wide. You hear a voice with a lot of nasally, egotistical joy break through the fire in the door. Salutations, sweet saviors of sun sentinels and sandy escapes. Prodigious pleasure to be placed primarily promptly in prestigious presence. And as this voice proceeds to rattle its alliteration, stepping into the room, you see what appears to be a man with jet black hair slicked back, bifocals docked just on the nose, a red vest and a long blood red coat, and a tie that they're adjusting. It is a pleasure to be called here by one Ravon. I am very excited for this terrific time to pass judgment on such jovial go-tours. And I believe we are going to be taking a recess. Is that not correct, Mr. Anubis? I'm sorry, Your Honor, so that we can let the new prosecuting attorney have hands with the evidence and give the defendants opportunity to prepare for my rebuttal. Yes.
Shit.
Yes, this is a shitty moment, mortal.
Yeah, no, he's a nerd.
Oh, you don't know him, do you?
Oh no, not even slightly. I'm sorry. I'm Tobias Raphaelis of House Raphaelis of the Platinum Hammer. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm the Grand Hospitalier. I'm sure
Oh me, oh my, I found a healer. He takes your hand. you feel this horrible cold coming from his hand that moves up your arm like ice daggers. It gets to your shoulder and where it starts to burn like a caustic fire, and then it starts to spread through your chest until it hits your heart, and you can feel a horrible clenching pain in your heart as your lips go numb, as your vision starts to blur, and then in a split second you can feel it stop and move out of your chest. It's now just stuck into your arm.
I feel like that is a rather rude way to greet a mortal in a
Objection! No touching our friends.
Is he still holding his hand, like shaking
Oh
his
no,
hand?
he's let go at this point.
I was like, draw a dagger at this person.
We would like to treat the persecutor as hostile.
I'm sorry, how could you possibly treat me as hostile? You've asked no questions leading me, or have I shown no
Physically.
defensiveness against your questioning? So no, you can't treat me as hostile.
You said something about getting hands on something. Touch my friend again, you're gonna catch these hands.
Oh.
Okay? Just don't touch. No touching. No touching.
My sorrowful lack of manners. Where am I? I am so sorry. My name is Al-Muhammia. I am the Devil Lord of contracts and lawyers.
Great.
I am not some lesser devil. I wrote the book on being a
Ilona
lawyer.
is going to stop everyone. And she's going to say, hello, it's very nice to meet you. Have a wonderful time looking over the evidence. And she turns to the rest of the party and she says, stop talking. And then ushers everybody to leave the courtroom while we're on recession.
I really must thank you for making that lesser devil look like a fool. I would have never gotten this opulent opportunity to oppose such offensive people such as yourself. Toodles until round 2. And that is where we're going to end. I'm sorry, end? That's where we're going to go on a 5-minute break. When we come back in 5 minutes, round 2 of the trial for Asim-Ra's soul with the Devil Lord Al-Muhammad himself, the devil god who invented lawyers and contracts. We'll be back in 5 minutes, 9:57 p.m. Well, on the West Coast. Hello, everyone. I heard the playback. Yep, that was me. Welcome to part 2 of the episode 3, the trial of Asim-Ra. Now, we are currently moving this scene back to the chambers, the private chambers. Before that, I'm sorry, Tobias, you wanted to make an argument before you went to the chambers, or do you want to wait?
No, I can't because we called a recess.
Cool. So with the recess called and with time spent, you are now in your chambers. It is, of course, the group gathered. Set is with you, as is the Celestial, asking if you need anything else.
Yeah. We need to call Felix Chance.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take another drink.
What would you like? I can get some Svigar vodka or some mead.
Mead sounds lovely, and could I also have a glass of rum on the rocks?
1 second, yes. The Celestial turns around and almost pulling out from their back, you see 2 glasses.
He just immediately just grabs and it's just like, I have to deal with a demon of contracts in legal discourse. I am going to have
character. So we never got we already spoke this during our break, but I want to point out this with the audience and everything. We never got any actual evidence of any that they're going to present saying that this is a contract or anything, right?
The evidence you have so far. Now, more evidence can be accrued during cross-examinations, or if you can think of any evidence that may exist in the world, you can, but you have to ask for it specifically for the court to secure it.
Yes, Rufa would like to request any evidence that the prosecutor is going to file when it comes to the agreement that they stated upon.
You wish us to bring back
that they claim.
what they claim. Yes, I can see if I can get you their basic arguments.
No, Rufo is requesting the evidence of said contract. If they are
Oh.
claiming contract.
Oh, sorry. There's no physical contract at this time.
There's no evidence then,
No evidence.
is what you're saying.
Yes, there's no physical evidence of a contract at this time. However, of course, handshakes and verbal agreements, if proven, can be accepted in this trial.
Okay, out of character, at this point, the entire trial would have fallen apart. Just saying.
These are gods. They work on a different level. But that being said, the celestial does kind of open their mouth. Their jackal-like maw, their eyes start to glow, their mouth starts to glow, and all of a sudden kind of popping into reality, almost like in this bath of like coins, like Scrooge McDuck just pelting the ground. You see this man standing there. I'd like to have some explanation as to why in the great jolly green leaf fuck am I here and I'm not at my casino making lots of money?
Well, you see, in the criminal justice system, demon-based offenses are considered especially heinous. In Anubis's realm here, the dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Special Contracts Unit, and you're here to tell their stories.
I like your words, funny magic man. Now what the hell are we doing?
We're here to F with Ravon.
Now why didn't you say so when you
I
first had me
did. You're
come?
part of the Special Contracts Unit now. God.
But you did, mate. You didn't say it was Ravon of all Yes, no, we're gonna have
You should have
ourselves
known
a
if it
right
was
crack.
involving me. Come on, Felix.
Look,
I just tried to give a forward job description. Just fine.
And I appreciate you doing that. Look, Jonas, I should have known, but at the same time, when it comes to your like not to assume. So, by the way, are your eyes okay? Are they feeling good?
She's just okay. There's a movie that has to go with going into a place called Wonderland, and then there's a character that is portrayed by amazing human Johnny Depp, and their job just goes, that's kind of what she just does, and kind of just turns around and drinks double-fisted wine.
Rufus gonna kind of cock says, "Is this something we're gonna have to deal with later?"
I'm sorry. What are we talking about now?
Oh, and it's screwing Ravon in a bad way.
Oh, we can worry about that right now. So, exactly how can I help this all? And he pulls a chair, twists around, sits down in it, kicking two legs up on the chair, pulls out a coin, starts kind of flipping it through his fingers. So now, what exactly do you need here for? And how am I giving that guy the right? You know what I'm talking about? Excuse me, Celestial. Can I have Ooh, I haven't had in a while. Can I get some typing pint whiskey, the good stuff, the stuff they don't tell you about? Can I get neat with a small sprig of mint? I'm feeling sassy. Thank you. Goodbye.
Make that too.
See, you and I are going to become good friends. I don't know who your name. What's your name again?
Tobias Raphaelis of House Raphaelis, Grand Hospitalier of the Platinum Hammer.
Felix Chance of House Chance, the avatar of dumb luck by way of Kioma, the god of fortune.
I do. While I am not your acolyte, I do believe we will potentially get along fine.
We should get a drink sometime, but that's not the point. So again, how can I help you with this here trial?
Rufus gonna look over at Lona. If my friend Lona, you are so good with the recaps. If you do not mind
doing that, I will do that. I will totally do that. Hi, Felix. So what happened was, remember that coin that you gave Shunibus that brought Asim-Ra back from hell? Oh, yeah. Well, it turns out he's possessed by the Devil Lord Ravon himself, and he's fighting that possession.
Not good.
Did you know that?
You'd love to see it.
I don't like to see it at all. I don't know shit. Are you kidding me? No, look, we made a deal. I ponied up on my deal. After that, deal's off. I don't know.
Great. So it's basically what happened. So right now we're in a court case to kind of petition for his soul. Our argument basically is that Ravon doesn't have dominion over Asim-Ra's soul because Asim-Ra never agreed to a contract with Ravan, and therefore Ravan is one, stealing a soul from Ra, who Asim-Ra follows, and B, stole him without him agreeing to anything. So he is in the wrong in both cases. And we're calling you in here basically to question you about the terms of the coin that you gave Shionibus and kind of talk about your experience there.
Sure. All right. So I gave Jonabus a coin. It was good for like one free wish, you know. And of course, the wish was already patented into the coin when you made it. That was the deal was. So when you put it on the little pedestal, and the pedestal kind of went off and faffed around in hell, and of course, we found our boy, brought him back. Simple as.
So in this case, that it was you that brought back Asim-Ra, and Ravan had nothing to do with this deal whatsoever.
Now, don't for once try to put my name on this. This was 1000% Shonibus. She did all of this.
Oh,
I
no.
was just an accessory at most. No, I was not the lead perpetrator of this theft. Ravan, I could care less.
Well, Ravan cannot claim that because of this deal, that the deal that you made was part of it, is what Ravan means.
Oh, you're saying that Ravan made Asim-Ra part of it? Or I became a part of it because of Ravan? I'm sorry, I'm losing your logic.
No, it's okay, sorry, out of character. This so many lines, so many pins and strings. But no, it is Lufa is asking. Ravan cannot claim that he took any part in this.
The way it is that there's the coin that was not didn't have anything to do with demons, devils, or bullshit. So no, it cannot be claimed as any form of defense when, of course, they say, well, he took the coin, because Shionibus clearly wasn't exactly giving this coin away on behalf of a demon.
Wait, are you trying to make like one of those like preemptive defensive arguments? Yeah,
Yes.
no, of course not. No. That coin, that deal, that's completely third party to this entire shit show. No, not related.
Correct.
So this agreement is not in void when it comes to Asim-Ra's soul.
Well, that's a different story altogether. Because if his soul is going up, down, twixt ways, whatever, then that's where his soul is going. If I reach out and take his soul from where it's going, that doesn't mean it wasn't supposed to be going there in the first place, now does it?
Also, how do you get one of those dumb luck wish coins? That sounds great. Is it just like a little token dispenser?
So he leans forward, puts a hand, and he goes,
No.
would you like to know? Because if you want to know, I can make a simple arrangement and you can have one.
I
Please
would
don't.
just
I'm losing
like
both my
to
eyes.
know.
Right. Oh, all right. You're not losing your eyes. You just may not have them in about a month's time. That's all.
Wait, what?
Oh, she didn't tell you that we made a deal before this whole thing came
I
off.
like those eyes.
What?
They're
Listen,
very pretty.
They're gorgeous eyes in that head. But
do you know what my favorite part about her eyes are?
Oh, please tell me, Boyle, what is her favorite part?
Deep within them, I can see my own reflection.
I thought you were going to say your own death, because that's definitely in your future.
Oh, yes.
Well, thankfully, if I survive a month, then I won't.
Oh, this is what I like. Oh, no. I can see it all over you now. Oh, no, Boyle, you're in a bad place, aren't you?
I always am.
Oh, wait, okay. So let's first of all, let's dial it back a bit, right? See, so she made a contract with me. My job's to make the deals, not to keep them secret. And if this lovely lady here doesn't give me a small, what was the arrangement? Was it a token of Anubis or some sort of? Basically, I wanted a souvenir. If I don't get one, I'm taking both her bloody eyes.
What kind of souvenir do you require, my good friend?
Shonibus, do you remember the deals that we made? Remember the contract? What I asked for?
It was something in his office.
Which means in the cart room. So, if you can just pop off and just do a wee bit of theft inside this courtroom, I would really appreciate it.
I am just going to go request a sidebar with Anubis during the court.
And are
then
you
just
going to pick his
ask.
pockets?
No, I'm just
No.
going to ask.
Oh, that's not fun.
I-
Travis, you have to do it. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. This
That-
is
that's-
bollocks.
not entirely true, because from what I'm understanding, that wasn't part of your contract. You just want the fucking thing.
Fine.
Yes, quite frankly, my dear dumb Luckian friend, eat shit and make a tighter contract.
Wait, you know what? Perhaps that's on me. I knew
It's
I liked
fine.
you.
It's just a bit of dumb luck that I found a loophole.
Oh, you know what? You keep saying my favorite two words. I'm gonna buy you a drink for you. Listen, next time you're in Out of Fun
I'll
Crime,
buy you a drink. Don't you worry about it.
sir, I am honored. Let's do that. When it's all over, you buy me a
Aye.
drink, eh?
I happy to. The
Great.
least I can do for you being
Can
so
we-
gracious
we
as
get to
to
this?
be our witness.
Yes, I can flirt with this beautiful man all day, but I really need to know what exactly I can do to help you besides just sit here and ponder on about what you owe me. So what can I do to help you?
I've said enough. Someone
You can help us by going on the witness stand and telling us about the conditions of the coin that you gave Shionibus, proving that this coin was a simple wish, regardless of any strings. It was not meant with any malice or anything other than Shionibus to use it as a wish to get Asim-Ra back, no strings attached.
Right.
You
Fine.
in this courtroom, the purpose of you showing up is to prove a neutral perspective on what exactly happened to get Asim-Ra out of hell, because if Aluhamia brings up the fact that maybe because of the coin we stole Asim-Ra out of hell, which is technically Ravon's domain, we can say that it was neutral and was not meant with any malice, and it was a cut and dry and deserved, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Sure. Easy as.
Cool.
Of course. All right. So I suppose I'll be telling Al-Muhammad then, because they also have to be aware of my testimony.
Sure.
All right. And as they start, you see them kind of like talking to themselves, and as they're talking, like a whole word parchment comes out, and they kind of pull it out of their mouth. They fold it up into a paper airplane. They throw it. All right. Yeah, that's it. Are you ready for round two? Because I really am. I'm really curious to see where this is going to go, aren't you? It's exciting.
Just a real quick thing, Felix.
Sure.
You remember when I came to you with a book, and it had Asim-Ra's writing in it, or of who I thought was, and it was a drawing. And do you remember what you had told me when you had saw that?
No, if you can refresh my memory, though, I'd be very appreciative.
How it wasn't Asim-Ra, but actually Ravon speaking to me through that book.
Oh, you mean the book? What was writing the words in response? Yes, I
Mhm.
remember that.
And she's gonna look at Tobias. I have been under his own coercion for months now. Is that something to be able to be used for? Let me back up. The reason that I think Ravon has taken Asim-Ra in the very beginning is because he has wanted my kingdom since the making of my kingdom. So to get close to me, he took someone who was close to me in hopes that I would be swayed. Clearly, I haven't. Is that something we can use?
In that regard, yes, but I would first push fictitious litigation, as there is still no proof of any deal that has been presented by the evidence, and we did not find any during discovery. If that is another piece of information we can bring to Anubis's attention, then I find that valid. But until then, particularly, I don't think it will be necessary yet.
All right. If Rufa may interject, he suggests that Finn Alona should take a lead on in this.
Okay.
All right. So that being said, unless there's any other argument you want to prepare with Felix Chance, we're going to move back into the courtroom. Does anyone have any other arguments or any other questions or deals that they want to strike with Felix Chance?
You strike deals with Felix Chance, you lose your eyes.
Still didn't tell me how to get a coin. That's fine.
Oh, we can make a deal for a coin.
No.
That's how Shonibus did it.
Yeah, that clearly didn't pan out very well. It's fine. I'll look for one on the ground.
Keep your eyes peeled. They're very rare.
I hear.
Yeah. All right. So that being said, and if there's nothing else, we're going to move back to the courtroom. Al-Muhammad has changed from his long kind of red coattails and vest to almost like this dark red kind of power suit with a tie and like really nice black patent leather like wingtip shoes, and he's got his bifocals have now gone to glasses. He's got a leather suitcase and a bunch of notes. He's already there waiting for you when you arrive. Pleasure. Please find a seat. I'm looking forward to this.
I will wait for the judge.
Oh. Mortals are so strange. Anubis comes out from his private quarters, sits on his throne, places his executioner's weapon on the ground, and sits back.
I will then go take a seat.
All right. Let's begin the second round of deliberations. The court recognizes the new prosecuting attorney, Al-Muhammad of the seventh hell. This court is now in session with a question of Asim-Ra's soul. Again, I must remind you, your job is to prove within reasonable doubt about the contract between Asim-Ra and Ravan, and barring that, the placement of Asim-Ra's soul and ownership thereof. Defense, please.
I would like to make an initial notion regarding to prosecutorial misconduct as given prior to our recess. As we reached recess as it occurred, we were unable to bring it to the attention of the court, Your Honor. I believe it is behavior unbefitting of an officer of the court to reach a hand in greeting to a mortal and take a physical offensive action against them, and then furthermore denote that we are found as offensive, which simply I would like to provide is not something that is befitting of your courtroom, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I would also like to apologize on behalf of the prosecution. You see, I am a devil god, and I touched hands with a mortal being. I don't believe that my station of being so high above would have any indication as to the control of how my being affects lesser beings such as mortals. Being a god such as yourself, you would know as well that sometimes our effects against those who are not so divine can be quite intense, and being that I am corrupted by the hells I come from, my being is that of corruption, and therefore I'd like to make an initial apology to Tobias of House Raphaelis about my activities. I could not control it.
While the apology is certainly accepted by the defense, I would like to note that the prosecution should be well aware of their station as a god and a demon and should not have willingly extended their hand in such a notion, understanding that there would be such an effect as that is in fact what they are, and they have been that their entire godlyhooded life.
Yeah, and also no touchy is kind of a universal thing.
I yield to the defense. That was clearly out of line.
The defense accepts the apology.
Thank you. And Honor, could we please place it on the record that I should not that should be limited in such capacities as the defense has made noted. Anubis looks kind of confused. Yes, I think we need to add that to the record. And he kind of makes a gesture and sees massive tablets being added in hieroglyphics and letters in ancient old language. And he kind of chuckles a bit under his breath. Precedent of no touchy. I like that. Put that in the book. Yes, the official precedent of no touchy. Prosecution for the rest of this entirety. You'll be forced to keep your hands to yourself, unless as such you can prove that you can control the manners with which you do so, that there will be no ill will or harm to the mortals of my chambers. Duly noted by the prosecution. Touchy, no touchy precedent, really itchy, that's inspired.
Basic, I mean, I learned it in kindergarten, just saying.
I'm going to give you a hero point. I like that you create a legal precedent of touchy, no touchy. I like that. So that being said, you are asked to call your first witness and any evidence to the stand to begin your argument. This will go just like the last one did with the Ozulith, the bone devil dragon that was here previously. You all have your current new hero points. Objections will be needed. Objections will use those. And same as the last social encounter. You start off at neutral. You have to earn your way up and hold that for 3 rounds.
The defense would like to call our witness to the stand. She looks at Felix Chance. Named Felix Chance, the demigod of Kioma.
Al-Muhammad, his kind of, for lack of a word, shit-eating grin kind of drops a little bit when he hears that name. And he looks, and out walks Felix Chance, just kind of strutting, picks up a coin, flicks it, catches it, and just kind of rubs it on his middle finger right at Al-Muhammad, who looks at that and just goes, and he puts the coin back in his pocket, sits in the stand, kicks 2 legs up, and he looks over at him and goes, before I have to do the whole swearing in thing, Al-Muhammad, your mother's a whore, and you fucking suck. And Al-Muhammad's like, you're lucky that we are in the domain of law, or I will jump over this table and surely strangle with such sufficient surprise that blood. I'm not going to even do the alliteration. Al-Muhammad, stay centered.
Objection! He's threatening the witness.
Anubis laughs and he says, the witness technically hasn't been sworn in yet. They're not technically a witness until they're sworn in.
Okay.
So with that, Al-Muhammad just kind of sits back, adjusts their hair, adjusts their glasses. The person comes by with a giant heart. Felix drops an axe kick onto the heart, and with his foot, he swears himself in. The person just kind of pulls the heart away and just starts brushing off the dirt. And there's Felix Chance, hands behind his head, feet up, having the time of his life. All right, so what's the first question you're going to ask me? Because I'm really curious.
We have dumb luck on our side. We have dumb luck on our side. Can we roll with advantage? I'm sorry, I'm done. I won't say that anymore. I'm just saying we got dumb luck on our side and I'm excited. All right, let's go. So Alona approaches the stand and she looks at Felix Chance and she says, Felix, would you be comfortable please explaining to the court the terms and conditions of the contract that you entered with Shionibis, in which you gave her the coin that freed Asim-Ra from hell?
Right, of course. Basically, she came over to me temple, which, as we all know, is really a casino. And she came over to me temple and she said, hey, Felix, I have this thing. And I said, great, go out and do whatever. Which doesn't matter. It's on mortal business, you know how it is. And so in exchange, I gave her a wee coin. This coin is basically an embodiment of a wish spell, you know, like a very big, you know, like the good kind. And with that, she just, to my recollection, she placed it on a pedestal. And from there, we were able to wish Asim-Ra back. Well, he was recovered vis-a-vis the wish spell from hell, one of the hells, and then came back here. Simple as.
And the terms of the wish spell were neutral. Junibus could have used it for anything, but she chose to use it in this particular case. Is that correct?
In this case, I believe so.
And you had no stake in the matter of whether or not what Junibus used the wish for.
No business of mine. She gave me what I wanted. I gave her the coin.
Cool. Alona looks back at Rufa and everyone else is like, what else? What else? What else do I do? What else do I do? What else? Help. What else do I do?
I mean,
Someone.
that was actually quite good.
Okay, great.
You did state that you believed that it had nothing to do with something or another. Is that a belief or is that known?
Well, I'll say this. The terms of the contract, the deal, was that she did item A, I gave her the coin B, she put it on the pedestal, and Asim-Ra's back right as. That's about it.
Very
So-
well. Those seems like the terms of the contract, and I believe that is likely all we need from you, unless any of the other defense requires anything else.
Great.
Perfect.
Alright.
Thank you so much for your time.
You give me a quick diplomacy check. You can decide if it's going to be Tobias or Alona who does this. As
What's
you
your
both kind of
bonus?
like teamed it up.
What's your bonus to
I'm not going to
diplomacy?
tell you. Pick one.
Oh, crap. Okay. You do it.
Okay, good luck.
No.
That'll be a 31.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Thank
Hold on.
God. Great.
Hold on. Okay, I gotta check this. You're level 5. Yeah, you pass. Okay, cool. You already passed. I just need to know if it was a pass or a critical pass. You
Okay.
passed.
It's a very good pass.
Good. Because that's terrifying.
All right, so with that, Anubis kind of nods, kind of seeing what you're getting at and nodding. With that, you sit down, and they turn to Al-Muhammad. Prosecution. The witness is yours. They get up and walk over to Felix. Why did I blank on that? Felix. You made a deal with Unibis, is that correct? Of course. I've made like 3 with her, at least 4 maybe. Who can really keep count? She keeps coming to me place all the time asking for these things. Right. So you have made many deals with her in the past? Of course. At any point in time, did you give her knowledge about Asim-Ra's condition? You mean like the whole... to put it, Your Honor, may I lead the witness at least with this one bit of dialogue? Sustained? Where are you going with this? Let me rephrase this. The memory evidence shown to counsel suggests that Asim-Ra died in the desert, alone, bleeding into the sands until Ravan popped up. Now, what I'd like to know is, knowing your ability as an avatar, a demigod, at any point in time did you influence her with such information? Yeah, I showed her Asim-Ra dying alone in the desert with blood coming out of his back. So you knew about the condition of Asim-Ra's
Objection.
passing.
There's a lack of foundation offered just because the witness is sharing their understanding and such of a friend and an associate does not imply that there was intent to exploit anyone's domain, which already was not held.
Or in that hero point, you made an objection.
Oh, okay.
You know what, Your Honor? I will accept the defense's objection. Let me rephrase the question. Felix Chance. You are neutral in this courtroom, correct? You have no ill will towards any person here. Not really? No? Great. And you serve Kilma, the chaotic god of fortune. Is that correct? Yes. Great. Do you have an interest in deals? You make them frequently, right? Of course. Where is this going? My question is this. Maybe you are neutral with the case of Ravan, Set, Nubia as a whole. It is my information and understanding that Shionibus has been outside of Nubia for at least 200 years, give or take a couple hundred years, and at this point in time has been operating on her own. And if that's the case, would it not be possible then
Objection, this is hearsay. You have no proof gathered by discovery nor evidence that you understand where the princess has been.
I can call her to the stand now if you'd like. We can discuss this.
You are more than welcome to.
Objection, she's an elf. So 200 years isn't that long.
Hey, true.
It's like a summer, it's like a vacation. People go to college.
Anubis kind of nods and goes, "Oh, good points."
These are leading questions, Your Honor, that are based on hearsay and not proof provided to this court as a matter of evidence that was given to us all in discovery.
You're right. Almahamia, make your point, and then have that point be put into evidence. My point is this. Felix Chance is neutral to this whole thing, which in some essence makes this conversation meaningless. However, his manipulation of that member of the defense who has the direct relation to the defendant means that this entire line of argumentation has to be stricken because there's bias, because he has direct attachments and interests in the defensive party themselves and would use that man, that innocent man, to get to them regardless of Ravan. And therefore, I ask that this entire dialogue be stricken from the record and that this man be removed, because regardless of this conversation, he has been manipulating the defense.
Regardless, the defense is, in this argument, also entirely invalidated. And if you believe that to be true, as per your acolyte standing on this defense, Your Honor, I would believe that we should either make amends now, or you would make the call in your court as to if Shionibus can stand here as defense.
I promised my daughter of the Sands that this would happen. She has every right to be here. In any capacity she chooses. This debate is not about her. It is about Asim-Ra and where his soul is indebted to, within a reasonable doubt. Now, you both have made good points. Amohamia is going to make a diplomacy check.
Oh, there's insane bonuses.
Yep, for being I don't want to say what a CR is, for being a god, a double god.
Yep.
All right. With that, Anubis says, I will allow the testimony of Felix Chance to be entered as evidence, but I will strike him from the witness stand. Unless anyone can give me an argument for why we should keep him here and ask further questions upon this discourse. Otherwise, I will take his neutrality in as a written testimony evidence, and we will move on from the subject of Felix Chance and Shionibus.
The defense finds that amicable, Your Honor.
Good. Almahamia, how do you feel? I'm just happy to get out of the house, Your Honor. This is an exciting day for me. Yes, please, of course. If we can't dismiss Mr. Chance, I have no further questions for him. All right. By that, I hereby strike from the witness stand one Felix chance. Felix gets up, adjusts his black coat, make sure his little 4-leaf lapel is looking pretty good. All right, great. Well, that was right, Croc. If you ask me, I'm going to be out of here getting a drink. You want one? Anyone? When this all, when this is all over, just find me. Yeah, you. Of course, you magic man. When you find me in Alphon Prime, we'll try one on. Now? No. Right in the cart room? You're cheeky, but no. Anyway, boysies. And he just kind of poofs in a giant cloud of gold coins. Like Mario hit a box and Mario just coins everywhere. And Lahamia just kind of smiles a
Are
bit.
one of those coins on the floor?
Yes, they are.
I'm picking one up.
Make an acrobatics check to do so before they poof away in divine flavor.
Perfect. That will be, it's a 17. It's not the worst, it's not the best.
Okay. It's just 17?
Yep.
As you're reaching for it, you grab it and you get it in your hands and you can feel the cold metal body of the coin and then poof, it vanishes as it touches the ground.
I'll
Still
snap
half
my
in your
finger.
hand.
Still half in my hand? Do I have half a coin?
All right. We're going to flip the waffle coin.
Tight.
This side you do, this
Okay.
side you don't.
Tight.
Waffle coin.
I can't believe you got a 1d2.
Yep.
Hey yo.
Yep. You got half a coin.
Done.
What?
You got half
yo.
of one of
Perfect.
Felix Chance's coins there.
That's all I wanted.
Okay. All
I'll
right.
just put this
So,
away, don't mind me.
okay. So, with the evidence of Felix Chance's neutrality and this whole conversation being entered in as verbal evidence and him being taken off the stand, the evidence can still be used, but Felix Chance cannot be asked at any point in time any other questions or extrapolations on this case.
Perfect.
So,
Does that also go towards the prosecutor as well?
He's
Yeah.
struck as a witness.
Okay.
yeah,
No
he's
more.
struck. He's gone. They basically said that what he said is valid, but he can no longer speak anymore on this case, as whether there may or may not be a question of his validity as a member of interest. That being said, as he's gone, Amuhamia stands there and kind of looks at the stand and looks at you all, and you can see his brain just thinking.
I'll politely wave.
He does a little. With that, Anubis kind of. Who is your next witness, or what is your next evidence for your argument?
I believe I would like to hold a sidebar with you, Your Honor. For those unfamiliar, that would be a personal conversation off the record that has nothing particularly to do with the case.
Understandable, but as I am judge, jury, and executioner, and this is my realm, I need understanding as to what this sidebar is for, publicly.
Sure. Publicly speaking, this sidebar would be the defense coming and discussing with you any such point validity of this case, as we seem to be in a fictitious ordeal where we have not seen any world where this has occurred. And quite frankly, I believe we should be done here. But furthermore, I have other conversation points I would like to ask of you personally, Your Honor.
I will entertain a sidebar about conversation pieces not related to this trial. Everything else can be argued with a witness on the stand or evidence in your hand. Your choice.
Clarification out of game. Did he state that I did not catch the terms?
No, it's fine.
The
Basically,
snarl
he's-
was beautiful.
Well, thank you. I
I was
work very hard.
distracted.
So basically what he's saying is I will talk to you about things not related to the trial
Perfect.
as a
Done.
sidebar.
Sold. That's exactly what I wanted.
Dope. Yeah. Okay. So he looks at you, hand around this giant golden double volage, and he just makes this gesture with a long gnarled claw finger. And as he does, you seem to move in this abyss of a courtroom, and you are
Don't
now
like it.
suddenly in a small room with a long iron candle holder and a small kind of tallow candle made out of like bone, like melted marrow, and a dimly lit candle, and his golden eyes just beaming at you over the flame. You can hear the constant breathing, the rolling breathing and hissing of a massive alligator just stalking from the darkness, as waters you cannot find or see just seem to gently part under its hairy, scaly body. Sobek is present for this conversation.
How do you wish to be addressed?
You will continue to address me as your honor,
Very
or
well.
Lord Anubis.
Lord Anubis seems fine. I am a follower of Minima, so it is very foreign to me to have the opportunity to have this conversation with you. Though Minerva is also a goddess of oaths, and as we just had our conversation struck with our previous witness, you do understand that there is a certain amount of dealings going on with your acolyte and this god of dumb shit. With that in mind, from my understanding, what I was spoken to was the deal was to get something of your possession, something out of your office, something out of your possession. Now, clearly, it seems like your acolyte is too faithful to make that deal happen. But without making that deal happen, it seems that there is a loss of her gaze. The very gaze she utilizes to look upon you today. With that in mind, a paltry offering of something you may have set aside that means little to nothing to you may perhaps get your acolyte out of this rather fastidious situation.
Give me a very hard DC fear level diplomacy check.
Tight. That'll be a 31.
Ooh.
Anubis looks at you. I grow tired of the gods of the Asurgenicon. Some of them glorious, worthy of my time, some of them petulant and
Lord
impish.
Anubis, I do believe that a lesson has been learned by your acolyte, and you saw through Felix's testimony the desperations offered. If you would impart this unto your acolyte, I'm sure it would only steel and reinforce their faith in you.
I now understand why you're here, Paladin, and it is only my failure that has provoked thus. Fine then. As the only thing in my chambers are myself and Sobek, that I only have this to give of you. And you see him pull his pinky clear off his hand. And he takes the bony finger and he hands it to you. Now let me give you the instructions very
course.
clearly.
You are not my deity, but I am more than happy to do what is needed in this circumstance.
Listen carefully, and I will make this monosyllabic. Give my finger to her. Tell her I am sorry that I was observant and not present. I failed her. And these deals she has made is because I have not been there. And I see my folly. Now give her the damn finger and get out of my chambers, little boy.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Of course. Sobek.
He will
we go.
turn heel and walk back to the table. And as he turns around, he would look over his shoulder. Do you believe that time for a recess, Your Honor?
No.
Very well.
So you see Tobias Raphaelis comes back from this abyss. And then
he has pocketed this. He's not handing it over now.
You know what? Shonbus, give me a perception check.
Oh, she gonna
Switching
be
dice
mad.
for this.
She gonna be
if
mad.
we're in the middle of court, it's not time for this. Tobias would have absolutely pocketed it immediately.
Oh yeah,
That's a 19.
perfect. This isn't so much about you pocketing it. What it is, when Anubis walks back in, he's holding his executioner's weapon, and he sits down. And you see him kind of looking at you for a second. First thing you see is, you know how dogs, their eyebrows can be very expressive and show sorrow. Even though he has his head of a jackal and he is all stirred when he looks at Shionibus, you see his eyebrows almost come up the way a dog's does when they feel genuine sadness, that their human is sad. And then looking at his hand, you see this finger is missing. There's no blood. There's no wound, there's no scar, there's no damage, and you can't even see an ounce of wincing pain in Anubis's face, but you know for a fact his pinky is no longer there.
Anubis gave Chio a bone. He gave her a bone.
It's like the opposite of what dogs do.
He's a good boy.
Okay, hero point. Sidney gets a hero point for saying Anubis gave her a bone. Okay. Okay, so with that, he kind of grabs his executioner's weapon and slams it down twice, almost like a gavel. This metallic ring echoes with a heavy thud, both blunt impact and a sharp metallic ring, as he says, "All right, we are going to continue the rounds of deliberations. Defense, call your next witness or your next evidence, and I will have no further sidebars for this trial."
We call Shionibus to the stand.
I'll slowly stand up and start walking.
Daughter, do you accept these conditions?
I do.
You'll be sworn in as a witness. All right. The court recognizes Shionibus as witness to this trial.
And defense.
Understood. Celestial comes out with this giant dripping heart. Very sorry. Could you please put your hand upon the heart and swear to be sworn in for the trial?
It would be an honor. She'll put her
One.
hand on it.
Great. Yeah, it's wet and spongy, and it's the kind of wet where the minute you move your finger, it's just dry and sticky. And as you go through the whole yes and everything else, and you're sworn in, Celestial nods and then runs off. And then you look at your hand, and the blood just vanishes like ink into an ink pen, into a pen. So you're there on the witness stand. Defense, you may approach the witness.
Ilona, you did call our good witness.
What?
You called the witness to the
Right.
stand. I assume you have questions.
Yeah, that's right. Princess Shionibus Nasari of Nubia. We called you to the stand to speak on Asim-Ra's character. Shionibus, how long have you known Asim-Ra?
I've known him for just about 2,000 years.
So you can say pretty much your entire life you have known him.
That is correct.
Okay. Have you ever known Asim-Ra to worship anyone but Ra, the god of the sun?
I have not.
Have you seen Asim-Ra praying to Ra, god of the sun?
Yes, every morning.
Okay. Do you have any reason to believe that Asim-Ra would ever betray his contract with Ra, god of the sun?
I have absolutely no knowledge. He was always quite devout to him. Let me rephrase. He was always devout to him.
Okay. Do you believe that there is any circumstance where Asim-Ra would betray his contract?
Not of his own free will.
Okay.
Clarification from the defense. What do you define as a contract under this circumstance? One's faith is not always defined as a contract. Yes.
Okay. Well, as far as I understand it, Asim-Ra has dedicated his entire life to Ra and has therefore given his soul to Ra. Wherefore, when he perishes in his afterlife, he will serve Ra in the afterlife. Is that correct?
Yes.
Tobias will step up with Ilona. Then it stands to be the fact of the matter that Asim-Ra's soul is the soul domain of Ra.
Yes, that's what we've always understood.
With that full understanding, do we have any reason to believe that contracts have been accepted beyond Ra with any other deities?
As I said, not of his own free will. That would have betrayed his own character. He was always very, as I said before, devout to him and only him. It's even in his name. It's kind of a cultural thing.
Correct.
Please, Michael, what were you going to say?
Rufus gonna stand up as well. So in matters such as this with the oath of a paladin, once they have an oath made, no other afterwards no other oath can be made to replace such an oath unto death.
Not that I know of. I was never
From my understanding,
focused in
unless they are an
religion
oath
class.
breaker, which we understand Asim-Ra not being, unless this is a trial regarding an oath breaker, which we have no evidence nor understanding or inclination to believe.
The court recognizes that the topic of this debate is not, and deliberation is not about Asim-Ra as an oath breaker. Witness, I believe you are giving further character testimonies to you and your relationship with Asim-Ra. Could you extrapolate on that a bit more? That's quite all right. Defense, please, witness, could you continue?
Yes, of course. He was always quite devout to Ra. And he would pray morning, evenings, nights for extensive periods of time. Anytime he went into battle, it would be constant prayer before and after.
And what is your personal relationship with Asim-Ra?
We were in love at one point, but I'm not sure if that still stands.
How long has Asim-Ra been missing?
500 years.
500 years. How long is that for an elf?
75 for a human.
Does
that sound about right, PJ?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Great. That's a substantial amount of time to be missing from a loved one. When Asim-Ra returned, did you notice anything different about him?
Hey PJ, just as an aside, I want to be watching the persecution as this continues.
Perception check. Please continue, Ilona, and send that to me in a private message. Please continue, Ilona.
Did you notice anything different about Asim-Ra when you used the wish token from Felix Chance when Asim-Ra returned?
I did not, but I was quite skeptical.
Because
Go ahead.
Were you skeptical because Asim-Ra had been in hell seemingly for 500 years?
I was skeptical that the man in front of me was not of the same mind as the man who had left me all those years ago.
So your concern was how spending 5,000 years in hell might have changed him.
Correct.
But before Asim-Ra was sent to hell, he was, as you have mentioned, a devout person that you loved very much. He was important to you.
That is correct.
Okay. I don't have any further questions until the prosecutor makes their case.
Give me a quick diplomacy check. I already got devices.
Oh, sweet! Yay! Sorry. Yay! 31.
Damn. Yeah, you
Yeah.
kicked the crap out of devices.
Oh.
So you sit down. You see what looks like Al-Muhammad notes here, a little pen, just kind of. He stands up, takes off his glasses. Your Honor, in the interests of Asim-Ra versus Asim-Ra in this case, and Ravan in general, I have no questions for this person. In fact, I ask that they leave the witness stand immediately. Their testimony will be saved, no questions, but I'd like to call a different witness to the stand, Your Honor, with everyone's permission.
The defense passes the motion unanimously.
Does the defense? Okay, well, Your Honor, it seems the defense was ready to acquiesce to my request. So with that being said, Shonobus, thank you so much for your questions. Thank you. And don't go anywhere. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call to the stand Ra, God of the living sun.
Thank you. I actually was going to try and do the very same thing. Thank you, persecution.
Of course. With that, you see a gigantic blast of blinding light that pierces the veil of this abyssal darkness, and then a hawk scream or an eagle scream, and as the sunlight starts to fade, you see a man with golden glistening skin and this bird helmet that the mouth opens and slides back. And I believe in Ra's rave party, we described him as looking a little bit like Michael B. Jordan. And you see this being, of course, gold jewelry, vambraces, rings, this beautiful crimson and gold waist wrap and straps. And Ra is standing there or sitting there at the witness stand. He is sworn in. And Al-Muhammad, being the one who called him, says, "All right, Ra. Thank you so much for being here, by the way. I love your work. We're going to keep this short and simple. I'm going to ask you one question. And this is on the topic of, well, sole propriety, if you will." He turns and points to Asim-Ra. "Do you recognize this man?" Ra turns and goes, I no, I don't think so. And that is where we're going to end episode 3, season 2 of Edge of Legends, the trial of Asim-Ra. When we come back, the second half of this trial, we'll see where things are going to go from here. But thank you so much for tuning in, and we're going to say our lovely goodbyes to all of you, starting with Mr. Michael Powell. Mr. Michael Powell, please tell them who you are and where they can find you on that sweet, sweet internet.
Well, as always, I am the dastardly dashing Michael Powell, and you can find me all over the internet on my social medias usually, which is at Mr. Kapow, that's MRKAPAO, or my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Michael Powell Does Stuff, because I do a lot of stuff, like my YouTube channel, Fantastic Tales of Adventure or Dastardly Tales of Horror. And let's see, usually on Thursdays, I'm on the Toyzilla Network channel here on Twitch at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where we talk about toy news and fun stuff like that. But before that, this week, I'm going to be on Live Action Roleplay at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where we're going to be playing a game called Mazes with the game creator Chris O'Neill, along with players Renee and Tim. Yeah, so that should be a lot of fun.
Awesome. Next up, Sam. Please, Sam, tell us who you are and where we can find you on that sweet, sweet internet.
Hello. I am Sam Sterling, and you can find me all over the internet at Hey Sam Sterling. You can watch me play Wordle every morning on Twitter. That's it. All right, hope you had a good night, and we'll see y'all next week.
Sidney, please, Sidney, tell us who you are and where we can find you on that sweet, sweet internet.
Hello, my name is Sidney Rubino. You can find me all over the internet at Sidney Rubino. That is TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. When I'm not here on Wednesdays, I stream on another show, brand new baby stream, brand new channel, called Exquisite Corpse Presents. And the show is a TTRPG that we stream that's a homebrew. That's basically like neo-punk, post-nuclear, rebel.
That's
South.
my type.
Oh yeah, that's hella gay. They made a gif of me this week and I am so happy. It's of this fan!
Clack fan, bitch.
I mean, if anything
very
is a
good.
brand, like, you kick ass in that fan.
I is happy person. But we stream every Saturday, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to 11 p.m. So it's the same time slot as this guy. And yeah, that's all I got right now. Saturday's gonna be a really busy day for me. But yeah, I'm done.
Awesome. All right, Kylie, please tell us who you are and where we can find you on that sweet, sweet internet.
Hello, I'm Kylie, or I go by Kai. It really doesn't matter at this point. You can find me at Kai's Wonderful Life all over the internet, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Yeah, that sounds right. When I'm not here, I am over on Chromatic Dice on Fridays at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. We are doing our Act 2 of our Season 1 finale. So please check it out. It's gonna be a lot of drama and a lot of stuff coming up that you won't want to miss. Also, you can win free dice if you're in chat, and who doesn't want to win free dice? When I'm not there and or here, I am over at Asgard's D&D Adventures on Sundays at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time here on Twitch. And we are now fighting a big bad. Though we're level like 15, so it doesn't seem that bad, but like it's a god.
Could be bad.
It could be real bad.
You're dealing with a lot of
big-
gods in your games. Like, you
big
should
bad.
probably
So many
become an
gods.
atheist.
Not a small big bad either.
Yeah, if you become an atheist,
Yeah.
suddenly there are no gods and you don't have to fight any of them.
But like,
That's
don't
how it
you want
works,
to feel
yeah.
like you can fight a god? Like,
I mean,
come
that's
on.
what I believe every time I wake up, grab coffee, and like grab a knife.
First, it's your morning routine.
Knife fighting a
What is
god?
that? A
Yes.
knife!
No.
Is your morning
that made
routine?
me
Is your
cringe.
morning routine not knife fighting a god with a coffee in your hand?
That made me laugh so
I
hard
mean-
that my contact's falling out of my eye.
Oh no!
I only feel kind of bad. Like, not like full bad, like
Yes.
3/4 bad.
I can't
All right.
see. I'm like Shonabis in the
Oh,
future.
boo. Jesus.
Get out of here with that!
Look, I solved
I
that
have a
problem.
pinky finger. Yeah, we're gonna
You
talk
don't
about
yet.
that.
You don't yet.
Oh my god, it's
We gotta
really a
talk.
problem.
So you can fight me on all those things and fighting gods on all those things.
Well,
Okay, bye.
yeah.
All right, well, I don't know if the time it took me to go to the door and deal
I
with
didn't do
whoever's
anything.
knocking at
Tobias
11
hasn't
o'clock
done
at
it.
night. Tobias
can
hasn't done it?
wave.
Perfect.
But you
I-
did, Tobias. That's real.
Oh, Jesus. Once more, 3/4, sorry. Hi,
Half
I'm
blind.
Tobias. You're all lovely. Thank you so much for coming this evening. You can find me on beacons.ai/Tobias for most of my social media. I'm a prop maker, costumer, and alcoholic. Oh, was I not supposed to? I saw the face PJ made. Anyway, everything's great and I love kittens. But yeah, so that's me. PJ, take it away.
All right, I will. Hi, everyone. My name is PJ Megaw. You can find me all over the internet at pj.megaw. And when I'm not here Wednesdays with these absolute legends, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Wednesdays, you can also find me and Goblets and Gays and so many awesome people here Monday nights, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Yes, Tobias, you have a question?
Oh, no. Finish your bit. There's one person after this that's very important.
Oh. Okay. So Goblets and Gays and National Productions have joined forces to do a show called Wayward Arcadium. Hopefully you've seen it on the social medias. It's going to be a Pathfinder 2nd edition show, kind of like a college experience with, as they like to say, daddy issues and dark conspiracies. And that's going to be starting this coming Monday, the 31st. But this Saturday, the 29th, Ian's coming back for the Merry Wives of Woodward, and we're going to co-GM that bad boy, taking turns. I'll play the archdruid that tried to kill him, and he'll be playing Woodward, trying to stay alive. And we'll see what happens. This will be for the Extra Life charity this Saturday, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m.
I love Extra Life. I do Extra Life every year.
I love Extra Life too. They've been awesome, and we've done great things. I think the very first charity we ever did was the Journey North with Extra Life.
I
So
get
it's
shit
awesome
faced with
stuff.
my brother for my birthday, and we raised like 5K last year. It was great. In
Dude,
like
if-
6 hours, just being plastered playing stupid games.
Dude, if you can do that in the West Coast, if you can do that down here in LA, I'll join you, and we'll just
Bet,
be
let's
dumb.
go.
Let's
Like, fuck it. It's
freaking
my birthday.
Go
I bring
Oh.
my brother down.
ASMR PJ edition.
Oh,
Oh
Sam
my God.
Sam was there for my birthday stream and did get the villain ASMR experience. Though I did want to mention, while we are here, the most phenomenal person on the crew who you haven't seen, I would like to thank Joe Paloma heavily for taking the time and effort to put all of the tech together and be our effectively technical director for the show.
We
Absolutely.
love Joe.
Absolutely, we love
He
Joe.
makes us look prettier and sound prettier than we
Yes.
actually are.
Absolutely, Joe. I know. Hope you know we
And
love
I'm
you.
hot.
Anyway,
The
on that
compliments.
note, but yeah, no, Joe, hope you know that you're loved and cared for. Our NPC in the world based off you. We adore them. We adore you. And it was great having you on Blood Money. And I cannot wait to get your face with us for Edge of Legends sometime. That being said, next Monday, Wednesday, this Saturday, you know what the story. We love you, and we'll see you here, same nat time, same nat channel for Edge
Next
of Legends.
Wednesday, maybe I'll stick around for a minute.
Maybe. That
I'm gonna
being
go put my
said, I
contact
just saw
lens back
Joe.
in.
I just saw Joe in the chat with a heart. Oh, thank you.
Love
Okay.
you, Joe.
Love you too, Joe. All right, we're gonna be raid Paul Dances. I don't know what that person.
I want to
Oh.
dance.
I
They're
like
playing,
them.
They're playing D&D.
Oh, they're playing D&D.
We
Perfect.
rated them before. 'cause
Oh
I
yeah, we
follow them.
have. Yeah, I've seen them
Yeah.
on
Raid
the list.
dance. Oh, he's good.
All right.
I-
What's our battle cry gonna be? What's our raid cry?
law
m-
school.
Law
Law
school.
school.
Because mine was going to be big booty bitches, so I'm really happy about law school.
Yeah.
That's every time.
I know. I have a safe place that I go towards, and it's big booty bitches. Like,
Look,
come on.
We are okay. So we're gonna go to
about
law school, and then we're gonna
you
put
break-
down on
The law.
booty
you
law
get
school.
the claw.
law school. All right, I'll tell you what. Everyone, all you legends in the
school.
chat, I trust ya. We're gonna make a raid together. Going in 3, 2, 1.